I'm a bad man. 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 I'm a man with a hole where good men's conscience used to be. Walking around with a stone cold heart and a curiosity. Killing like it ain't no big thing. I don't even feel it. Wash away the blood with a drink in my hand. Cause I'm a man with a whole big plan for the world to fall to me. Oh, the world will fall to me. I'm a realer, I'm a double dealer. Tell you that I need you, then I love you, then I leave you. Politician, demon on a mission, telling white lies, but you know I'm playing both sides. An abuser, beggar and a chooser, selling you a win, but you'll always be the loser. Run for your life, lock your doors real tight, cause baby I'm a real bad, bad, bad man. I'm a real bad, bad. I'm a man with a chip on my shoulder where my history used to be. Keeping names, keeping grudges, dreaming up the possibilities. Killing like it ain't no big thing. Think I kinda like it, watching all the life slipping out of your face. I'm a man and one by one, you all will fall to me. Oh, you all will fall to me. I'm a realer, I'm a double dealer. Tell you that I need you, then I love you, then I leave you. Politician, demon on a mission, telling white lies, but you know I'm playing both sides. An abuser, beggar and a chooser, selling you a win, but you'll always be the loser. Run for your life, lock your doors real tight, cause baby I'm a real bad, bad, bad man. I'm a real bad, bad. I'm a realer, I'm a double dealer. Tell you that I need you, then I love you, then I leave you. Politician, demon on a mission, telling white lies, but you know I'm playing both sides. An abuser, beggar and a chooser, selling you a win, but you'll always be the loser. Run for your life, lock your doors real tight, cause baby I'm a real bad, bad, bad man. I'm a bad man, I'm a 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 bad man. I'm a man with a hole where good men's conscience used to be. Walking around with a stone cold heart and a curiosity. Killing like it ain't no big thing. I don't even feel it. Wash away the blood with a drink in my hand.
Make sure everyone can see our pretty faces.
Well, if they can, then there's something wrong with the stream. If they can see pretty faces, there is definitely something wrong with the stream.
I'll agree. I'll have to agree with that, especially for Dobby. Yeah?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on YouTube. I'm sorry we've had some technical difficulties coming live to you this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, another episode of Talking Madness. I am absolutely sweating here, lads. How are we doing? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined once again by Dale Richardson, Azza, and the leader of the De Winter dynasty, Mr. Dominic De Winter himself. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
And good
Hello,
evening to
guys.
everyone watching. Thank you for bearing with us.
Thank you.
Yes,
The
how
gremlins
you doing,
have gone.
guys?
No, I'm doing
Drink
good.
after that. I need a drink after that, lads.
Yeah.
I bet you do, mate. I bet you do.
Non-alcoholic, obviously.
You
Listen,
need to remember which button to press now, mate.
So, thank you for joining us once again here on YouTube. We appreciate you joining us. Remember, if you are joining us, please remember to like, subscribe, share the stream out there so we can get more people watching us every week. And without you guys watching us, we can't do this show. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's guest is none other than the captain himself, Mr. Steve Valentino. Guys, we're excited for Steve Valentino tonight.
oh yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh
Steve.
yes.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Steve is somebody who's been in has got a lot of things going on, so it's going to be good to talk to him.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to hearing a lot about Steve's wrestling career and personal life as well outside of wrestling.
Now, Dale, Nathan, us three, we've had our own dealings with Steve in the past. But Aaron, your contact with Steve over your time in CPW isn't that much. So I'm guessing you're hoping to learn a few things tonight about the man.
Definitely. I was just about to say, Dominic, if I could call you Dominic, or do you want me to call you Mr. De Winter? It's up to you.
Either. I'll go with anything, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's fine. It's
Okay,
nice of you
then.
to ask. Thank you.
So, Vera, I know
Vera.
nothing about this guy. Well, you said anything, didn't you? Did he say anything?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he
He
did
did,
say
Darren. He did. Yeah, I heard him.
So, I'm now going to call you Vera.
Wonderful.
Go. So, Vera, I know nothing about this gentleman. I've only seen him wrestle in CPW once. And in that time, he made a little child cry next to me, and I didn't like him because the child screamed the rest of the match.
So there was a child stood next to you crying,
No.
and you're blaming Steve Valentino for him crying.
No, that's definitely your fault, Aaron. So, ladies and gentlemen, we say, as always, when we are joined tonight at 9 o'clock by the captain himself, remember to please get your questions in about anything to do with his wrestling career or anything else you'd like to know about Mr. Valentino himself. More than happy to get those questions out to him. Before we carry on, I understand, Aaron, that you have some important information to share with not just us, but the CPW Galaxy and everyone else watching on YouTube tonight.
Yeah, I do. It's just quite a touching one. Touched me when I heard about it. So if anyone read the news or heard the news last week about an incident in Woodend, a 14-year-old child got hurt. Unfortunately, that 14-year-old child was one of our CPW Cubs. I'm not going to mention names because, it's not my place to mention names. What I'd like to say is to him, we hope you get well soon. We hope you're back on your feet and come back and see us. Come back to CPW. We're always going to be there for you. But also to all the others out there, all the other youths, I was talking to Mr. Richards last night. We were talking about when we were growing up, we had youth clubs and places like that to go to. Unfortunately, our government finds money spent better than on our youth clubs. So these children have got nowhere to go. They're walking the streets. They're getting, brought into gangs to do this, do that. It ain't a life you want to lead, guys. Trust me. There's more out there, and us at CPW, we're a family. Yeah, we're always there for every one of our young cubs. Right, come along, train with us, learn from us. We got the best trainers in the UK. We've got the best promoters in the UK. We've got some of the best talent in the UK. And as tonight, you're going to see one of the people that, wants to be on our show in Steve Valentino. Yeah. So come down, learn from us. Let us be your platform. Let us guide you in the way you need to be guided. Yeah. Don't follow the wrong route. follow the right route. Yeah,
And to those
that's all I
people,
need to say.
just to follow on from what Nathan, from what Aaron is saying, to those people that are watching online that would usually spend their week evenings in the ring at CPW training, whilst those doors are closed and you can't physically be there, know this: we are contactable and we are there for you and anything you need. Just because you can't bump in the ring, just because you can't run the ropes, doesn't mean that you can't contact us through the right channels, obviously, and shoot the breeze or tell us, because we're not just there for you in your wrestling life. As Nathan's and Aaron and Dale will back me up on this, there's a family there. There is a family there, be it a superstar, be it someone that's just connected behind the scenes, or one of the Cubs or Lionesses. We're here for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, I can't disagree with anything that Dominic just said there. Like I said, CPW is a family, and we will do whatever we can to make your lives as good as they can be, and we will work together as a family. If anything happens to you guys, it affects us. We hurt as well as you.
Yeah.
So we if you need anything, please, all I would say to any of them, young or older, doesn't matter if you're young or old, if you need to speak to us, you need to get in contact with us, please just do so. Just please contact us and speak to us.
No,
and like
completely.
any family has, I hate to say it, a dickhead brother that, you know, Dale's ours. So it ruins weddings and things like that, you know, just gets.
I thought that was me.
Pardon? No,
I thought that was
just
me.
You
knocks
didn't
them
get
back too
invited.
much.
I
I've
don't get
seen the
invited.
photos.
No, just on the back of everything that's being said, obviously, us four, as well as the CPW themselves, send our love and support and prayers to the young man and the family. And like Aaron said, I hope you have a speedy recovery. And again, it's more than just wrestling at CPW. You know, if you just want to get yourself somewhere so you feel safe or off the streets, or just want to have like a community to be part of, then that's what CPW is. But Aaron, thank you for sharing that message.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yes, okay, mate.
Sending that message out there for people, not just in Coventry, but in anywhere in the UK as well.
Yeah.
Remember, there's more to life than getting involved in the bad stuff out there. So, ladies and gentlemen, off until our guest is joining us tonight. However, I've got some news, some breaking news and breaking information for the people who are members of the CPW Galaxy, and obviously those watching week in and week out. Those who know, each week we love to play the game You Suck. It's a great fun game. However, ladies and gentlemen, You Suck has now officially finished and ended here on Talking Madness.
No.
Which
I
means
don't believe it.
after
it's unbelievable.
every person who's competed in You Suck, we were left with not one, but two people at the top of the leaderboard. They were the exceptional Jimmy Vice and the Machine. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is your breaking news. Next week on the show, we will be joined on the show at some point by the exceptional Jimmy Vice and the Machine, Emma Cross, where they will go head to head.
Wow.
In a game of You Suck. However, ladies and gentlemen, there was a prize. And my God, there is a prize.
Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, whoever wins next week's episode's game of You Suck, the finale, will become CPW's golden ticket holder for 2021.
Wow.
But ladies and gentlemen, next week on Talking Madness, the Machine Emma Cross will go head to head with the exceptional Jimmy Vice.
That's huge.
And one of them will become your CPW golden ticket holder
That is huge.
2021.
I'm sure you've got something to say about this, Mr. De Winter.
No.
You,
I'm not.
So have I.
Yeah, it's a foregone conclusion that Jimmy's going to get it. It's a foregone conclusion. But let me just state this. As a mark of history, is that the first opportunity that a female member of the roster has had to obtain the golden ticket?
no.
Lucia Lee was
Lucia Lee was a
Lucia
full
Lee
holder
was
of
the
the golden
first female
ticket.
to hold the golden ticket.
Yeah, she
Okay,
was.
let me rephrase that. Is this the first time that a female member of the roster is likely to get it?
No, Lucia Lee's had it.
No,
She
Lucia Lee had
was
it.
the golden ticket holder of
Yeah,
two.
she was.
Wow.
I think we just said that, didn't we?
Well, I'd like to offer my commiserations to Emma Cross at this point anyway.
I've got an issue. Hold on.
You've got an itchy what?
I've got an issue with this.
Oh, I thought you got an itchy.
You've got an issue.
God,
I've
why?
got an issue. What
Yeah.
do I win? I mean, I'm the champion. If we build up all the points over the game, I am actually the champion.
Yeah, you're one of the hosts, mate. You don't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
count.
yeah,
You could just
yeah,
have the. You can have the pride. You can have the
Yeah,
pride that you
you
were the
could-
best out of the hosts. Well
Yeah,
done.
you could have all the photos if you like,
Actually,
Aaron.
I will be back in 2 seconds. I have a prize for you.
Oh God, here we
Oh,
go.
no, it's getting his stuff from under
Oh,
his
look
bed,
at his
isn't
look
it?
at his
Oh,
chair.
no.
Whilst he's gone, look at his chair. How much has he spent on that chair?
Hold on. What's he got? What has he got? He's
That's
got
because
to
of
get
his
that.
piles.
See what,
He spent
see what
money
you've done
on that
now,
chair.
Aaron. You see what
Aaron.
you've done.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron, for being the best out of the host, you can have this wooden spoon.
Okay, I'm going to ask one question, right? Where's your kitchen in your house, and how come it only took you 2 seconds to get a wooden spoon?
Because this spoon is
Dirty,
From-
by the look of it. What's
no,
going
it's
on
one of my
there?
awards. So on the back of
What
it,
were you
it
doing with
says-
it?
On the back of it, it says Born Youth Theatre, the perfect match, November 2006, which was a play I did. And at the end of the year, they always gave us the awards, which was known as the wooden spoons.
Now,
Right.
Okay.
Nathan, you obviously know I weren't there last week. I was in bed, not very well.
Yeah,
You were at the Rumble.
you had piles.
Yes, we know
Yeah.
that.
So you say the piles. Thank you, Comms Pro Wrestling, for that. It's the last time
Yes,
I let you have a
piles.
look. But you messed up on something, didn't you, Nathan?
Hmm?
What's
You
he
messed
do?
up on something when
It's easy
playing.
to list what he didn't mess up on.
What did I mess
When
up
you
on?
played You Suck, you messed up, didn't you?
What did you,
Oh
what did you
yeah,
do?
I mentioned something. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned it was someone's birthday. It wasn't their birthday. Their birthday's this week.
You're a
I
prat.
was really early. I was really early with the birthday. Why did you mention that then, Aaron? Well, we can all wish Aaron a happy birthday for this week, and to help celebrate Aaron's birthday, I have some photos.
What?
Oh no!
Oh,
No, I'm
goodness.
still-
No.
Have
See
you
what
that
you've
much
done, Aaron,
mind
mate?
loss?
I have some birthday photos that I was sent from a lovely
Not in his
lady.
birthday suit, I hope.
No, that's
Oh,
just yours,
please
John.
not. That's, oh, goodness. Can't
That
be any
was
worse than
yours,
Nathan's, to be
Dead
honest.
birthday boy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Looks
Can't be
like
any
David
worse than
Bellamy.
Nathan's.
I can't see a thing.
You're wearing
Also
your
said-
hat, Nathan.
This is
Move.
what he looked like when he had hair.
Oh God, that was in Ireland. Oh my days.
Look
That
at
was in
that
Dub.
photo.
Do you know what? That picture was taken last year in Dublin.
You
We-
You
can't,
look
you
like you're
can't,
being mounted by Ric Flair.
Yeah. yeah, you can't really, that can't really be your hair.
No, we started drinking at 6 a.m, and that was about 8. And oh my God, where'd you get that one from?
Aaron and the brother are twins.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Who's the guy on the left?
Oh my God.
Really.
How have you done that?
If you
Whoa.
didn't know, Aaron
How you
likes to
doing,
take,
Fred?
Aaron likes to take baths and send
Oh,
pictures of himself in the
that's it.
bath. Oh, hang on.
Oh
Is
no.
it?
No. If you can't take, Nate, seriously, you can't. That was private. That was.
And
Uh,
here again is our little beautiful Aaron as a baby photo.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
cute
my
is that?
goodness.
What an adorable baby.
We're not a cute baby.
Wow.
I don't know if your cheeks were bigger then or now.
Mate, I'm like a walking Greg
There's a
sausage
lot of
roll.
similarities between you as a baby and Dale now. If you look at the picture and then it flicks back to Dale, you go, "Oh my
Hang
god!"
on. Let's get this back.
No,
You're saying that Dale looks like that?
With the camera angle he's on at the moment, yeah, there's a touch
Right.
of it, yeah.
Dom, listen, I was going to try and be nice to you tonight, but clearly you don't want me to be, so I'm not going to be.
I'm not bothered either way.
I mean-
ladies and gentlemen,
Anyway,
if you
Before we get our guest on,
Come on,
before
come
we
on,
get
Emma
our
Cross.
guest-
Come on, Emma Cross.
Before we get our guest on, right? Last show that we did was the Rumble show.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Like, quick recap. Were you happy with how it turned out?
Yes.
No.
I was. You mean both the Rumble matches?
Yeah.
I was for Bianca Belair. The Edge one, I understand it. I was told with Randy Orton fan, so I'd rather he won it. But I wasn't too unpleased to see Edge win it as well. So.
Do you think it was a good show, though, all in all?
Yeah, very good show.
Yeah, apart from the first
Good Rumble.
match, yeah.
I was
I like
disappointed.
the first match.
Are you
I
what?
like
Are
the
you?
Goldberg match. I was actually quite happy with the Goldberg match because I thought it was the longest Goldberg.
Do you
wrestled for a
know?
while.
Do you know? Not including entrances, that it lasted even with a sting on the outside. It lasted less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like
It is
still,
rubbish.
It's still longer.
He lifted him up in a jackhammer and then he dropped him.
It's still longer than Goldberg's wrestled in the past few matches he did.
Okay.
I don't care. He's still
I
rubbish.
did ask the question, were you happy with the show? Not let's go into full detail of it.
No, I was happy.
I just got one thing to say to you, all right, for the future. Edge Christian versus Miz Morrison.
Yes.
Can I say?
Yes.
say-
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it live, and I woke up the next day to the words "Edge." The Edge wins or Rumble.
Mhm.
How disappointed I was when I put it on, and I thought it was the Edge from U2.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Aaron with
Really?
these crap jokes.
Yeah.
You can't be being serious.
Aaron, stop with these crap jokes each week.
Oh, don't.
It's so bad.
No. Okay.
Honestly, but stop it.
Let's go down the route of crap jokes here. Let's go down the route of crap jokes because we've got a captain, a proper captain of a ship. Now I know from my own experience there is a ton of crap pirate jokes out there. So YouTube, you're watching. We want you to send in your crap worst pirate jokes in,
What?
and we're going to put them to the captain.
Let's see if he laughs or
Oh,
not.
let's see who's the best one he laughs at.
Yeah.
What? As in, like, when you get a joke that's that bad that you still laugh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I would say get a smile from. I don't think he'll laugh from any of them, but you know.
Fill his
just,
gob full
like
of
the-
water. Fill his
you
gob
know,
full
like
of
the-
water like they do on Try Not to Laugh. And he loses if he actually spits out.
Like if I said, "Do you hear about the time Nathan took a woman out on a date?" I mean, that's hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
What's that got to do
become
with
part of the
pirates?
stuff? How is me?
Nothing.
taking-
It's
will
just
let
a
you
joke,
know.
isn't it?
Hang on, but I would let you know that actually when I do take a female out on a date, it's actually a very romantic situation. I wine and dine them and treat them right.
How is your mum?
Right.
Did you just say how? Did you just say? By the way, I think my parents said they were going to watch it this week for the first time, and we've made a joke about me taking
that's a
my
good
mum out
start,
on a
that.
date. I'm waiting for my phone to go off with my dad calling me again about making jokes about.
Could be worse.
just put them on to Aaron. It's all right.
No, because don't forget, Will Starr and Tomby have before, and it got me in a lot of trouble.
And they've told me stories too.
Now, we're going to be
We've got
welcoming our
some
guest
stories
very,
later.
very, very soon.
Very soon.
What's been happening in the galaxy? What's
They're
the
talking
chat
about-
about on the CPW Galaxy at the moment?
Well, we've got quite a few people. Should we say hello to a few people first?
I
of
didn't
all? How
mean
about we
on
do that?
YouTube. I meant the CPW Galaxy.
Oh, sorry,
What
John.
do you know? Because I know that they haven't been watching much. I know that some people are reflecting on the old championships on the CPW Galaxy. I know that is there any chatter that's out there about what's happening in CPW?
Don't know, Vera.
The main thing they're talking about at the moment actually is the big news about the golden ticket being cashed in and the golden ticket next week. I don't believe we've been joined yet by the exceptional Jimmy Vice, but Emma Cross is in her hands to it, and that it'll be good for the Natural Born Killers.
How come? Right, hold on.
You
You're
take
allowed
your
to talk
spot,
about what's
mate.
done on YouTube, but when I went about to talk on YouTube, I got shot down by Vera.
Well, exactly. Take your spot, Aaron, mate.
Did you see that?
I've just worked
am I
out why he's
right?
calling me Vera.
Well,
It's
you
rhyming
said to
slang.
me,
It's
call
rhyming
me
slang, isn't
anything.
it?
You said call me anything.
It's Vera
So
Lynn.
you are
He
now
did.
It is kicking off from there, Aaron, isn't it? I mean, I've just seen some of the messages at the bottom.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
So basically, Emma said, you asked Emma if she won, who would she cash in on? And Emma's answer is, Shorty's an easy target, but Kiara's, well, so we'll just have to see. Shots fired.
Right. Okay.
Hold on. Let me just check. Aaron,
Yes, Vera.
have you thrown your dummy out?
No, I'm doing my job properly. I'm reading what people say. So when you
Tell
want
it.
me to.
Well, tell us, Aaron. Let's get it done. Let's go before the buyer arrives.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is 9 o'clock.
Yeah, no.
So that means
Oh,
one thing.
broadside.
That means one thing. It means it is time for our guests. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hooks up in the air because we are now joined. I'll use my other hand, otherwise I can't press accept. Put your hooks up in the air because we are now being joined by the captain himself, Mr. Steve Valentino. Hooks up, Dale.
Put your finger
Dale,
out
get
your
your
bum
hooks
down.
up. There,
Come on, Dale,
hooks
get
up,
your
everyone.
hooks in the air like you just don't care. Say, oh.
Yes, what's
hooks.
going on, guys?
How are you, Chief?
Hey, Steve.
I'm well. Can you guys all hear me okay? Is everything cool?
Yeah, we're ready. We are
That's
here.
good.
Yes.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you
Fantastic,
can
thank-
see, we have been joined by the captain himself tonight here on Talking Madness. So, remember, do feel free to get any questions in for the captain and send hooks up. Why not? We want to see those pictures. Steve, how you been dealing with this long pandemic, man? How you been?
Well, I mean, I'm just excited to on a Sunday, lads. It's really nice to talk to you, to be honest. I got excited. I was literally, before I did some stretches, like I was getting ready for a match, just so I could have that feeling again, And I was like, I'm a bit nervous, actually. I was like, oh, this is really good. I haven't felt it for far too long, so I appreciate you giving me a chance to get excited.
God, it's nice to have you here. It's nice to
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll get into the habit of talking wrestling, but one of the reasons you're here is because there's something huge going on at the moment with you. Isn't there?
It's very exciting. It's very exciting. So at the moment, thank you for giving me the platform to talk. I've started a foundation. So myself and a friend, we have started a foundation for music, and it all came about because at the moment there's a lovely darkness and a bit of a fog at the moment, and it's hard to be excited about things. I've got this feeling I wanted to do something. I was thinking, what can it be? And I was trying to find something. And my friend and I were talking, and she has been given since last. She's been teaching this young girl violin over the internet. He's from Nigeria, and the contact, because he posted on a group, he was asking for help because his dream is to learn how to play the violin. And he posted on the group, and he was like, I'd love to get some, can someone please give me some time, help me achieve this dream? And Roxana is the way she was wanted to make sure that I was clear on the pronunciation of that name. And so she went on and she saw the comment. She saw the comments, and there was about 40 comments, all pledging their time and saying yes, they would be happy to help Joel. They were like, yeah, more than happy to do. It's amazing, and that's exactly what you want to see. So she thought she's a bit late to this, but she wrote on there anyway, said, I'd love to help. And she gets a message back from Joel, and turns out that he messaged a bunch of these people, and none of them had actually to give their time. So it was just sort of, it public edged it, but then privately denied it, which just really, I mean, how much do we do that in the world? You know, there's so many people who online are thinking, and then in reality, a very different thing. And I think that's one of the worst things about our modern era.
Yes.
And so from then they started every week they'd I would say meet. They'd even before the even though we can't meet now, they'd have their weekly lesson online, and he was great. He was always trying so hard in between lessons, like doing all the exercises, and just he started to make really good progress. And then unfortunately, his violin broke, and his situation is not best of the times, and in the climate it's even worse. Like he actually has to, he's online when he's doing the lesson, actually lying down because he can't walk very well. He will post, he's got this really bad situation. He's like the situation with his leg is, we've got some pictures and images we probably will share. They are quite graphic, but he can't really walk that well. So all of this combined with the violin was giving him an escape. It was giving him something to work towards. And I think we all know more so that now than ever that that feeling of working towards something, you're actually making progress, and then having it taken away from you. I think we can identify with that,
Because even where we are at the moment in the UK, for someone to have access to a new instrument such as a violin, I mean, I work in a performing arts department. That's not a cheap thing.
No, it's not. It's not. It's the break. You didn't have. Go on. Sorry, go on.
And when it comes down to it, when you hit that obstacle, that first obstacle, when you feel like you're making progress, and you hit that, so what's being done? I'm guessing that what you're doing is trying to do something about that.
Exactly that. So you don't have the money to get it fixed. He also doesn't have the money to buy a new one. So you're talking, and it made me feel, because it made me feel so just sad, man. Like that someone, it was two people who were both, one person asking for one person to help, and there's an obstacle there as well, even with the progress being made. And I can't do this. I think that the thing a lot of us need to realize is the little power that we do have, we can use. And one of the things that I talked about in our work, I said, like, how much would it cost? And we started working out things. Like, I think that, I think maybe we can do something, and I'm in a band, the Jacks. If anyone likes my entrance music, that's actually that's my band. And so I live with my guitarist, and in the building, we all live together. One of the few parts from the lockdown has been that I've got to know my neighbours, and they're pretty awesome. And Roxana is so what's about it? And I was like, well, maybe we could do something. Maybe we could do like a little try and raise money, we can do something together. And then at first it was like, yeah, but what would it be? What's it? And I thought, no, do you know what? Actually, let's let the people decide. Let's just put it together and see what we can do. And then if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But let's try. And so what we're going to do is, we haven't set the date. The reason we haven't set the date yet is because, like many of my ideas, I have the thought, and then I realise it's a lot more complicated than I realised. And that's exactly what this has been. So we haven't set the date yet. We know roughly when it's going to be, but I didn't want to start messing people around and say one date, then another date, then another date. So we've still got some details we're working out. But the goal is to raise enough money to be able to pay for a replacement violin for Joel. And also there's a few other people. We've priced things up, and we've spoke to Joel himself as well. There's a few other people in his village who also have the same dreams of playing an instrument. And if we can raise the goal that we set, which is actually, I think, a reasonable goal. We've managed to, in the last week, we nearly hit 350 likes on our Facebook page, which I was really like, oh, we're getting a lot of likes. And then I looked, I was like, wait, that's 50 a day. And now if we can keep that momentum going, which with you guys helping me having a platform like this, then hopefully we can do that. And then if we can get people to contribute and donate, we might be able to, there might even be a possibility for us to help 4 young people on the path to achieving their dream and their goal. And so we're going to do a live gig where you're going to get some music from my band, the Jacks, and then we're going to do some collaborations where we're going to, instead of it being, we're a kind of punky heavy band. Instead, we're going to do it acoustic with an accompaniment from a violin, and we've got a cello as well. Andrea's going to be joining us, and then we're going to mix that up, and they're going to do some pieces. We're going to do the first half, and then we're going to let the real musicians do the next bit. Like we're going to go, okay, now do the really, really good stuff while we do that. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to be announcing that very soon. And
so if people from CPW want to access this, what can they do? How can they be a part of it?
Yeah, definitely. So go. I'm posting a lot about it. So Steve Valentino, that's just a plug on my own social media. That was awful. Sorry.
We're allowed to do that on here. We'll let you. It's allowed. I mean, we'll even probably get you to plug it properly later on in the end of the night. So don't worry.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm doing this lovely thing for charity, but also go and like my page. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't what I meant to do, and I apologize. That's what I did though. So, but head over to Steve Valentino on Facebook. But no, do that. But also it's at Spirit of the Music, because we've called it Spirit of the Music because we're trying to keep the spirit of the music alive. And that's what we're trying to do. So any support would be so welcome. And if at the moment, at this stage, all we need people to do is to like and share the page. And then this week, we're going to put, so we've got a song that we're going to be doing. So we're going to show you guys what we're going to sound like a little bit. We're going to take one of our songs that's available on Spotify, and we're going to put that, and we're going to do a cover version of that. Well, not cover. We're going to do an acoustic version of that with the violin, so you guys can get a bit of a flavor for the sound of what we're going to do. So yeah, that's what Spirit of the Music is about.
You obviously said about how obviously you've got a goal target regarding a monetary value that you'd love to hit, to obviously be able to provide this money to this village for these people to live their dream and express music, because we all know music's very therapeutic. People say that music heals a lot of things. There's studies to show that people can listen to music to help with different ways of healing as well, which, like you said, it was an outlook for him. He was in he can't walk, he has it, and everything like that, but it was a violin was something it had for him. Obviously, I know you've mentioned before that you most likely, when you do the live stream, that's where you're going to have your GoFund page, I take it then, to raise money on the night.
Yeah, so we're going to set up a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is going to be available to donate to. We were also, because we were looking at making it just a donation through Facebook, which we might still be able to do. At first, I looked, because again, the reason there's been a slight delay on sort of announcing the date was that when I looked into it, it was like you have to register it as a charity and you have to make it an official thing. So I started looking into that, and it was one of those, one of those things when you're like, okay, I don't understand that, so let me click that and read. Oh, another thing to link, and then 12 pages in, and I was like, maybe a GoFundMe instead, So I think that's what we're going to end up doing. I have set up the GoFundMe. I just haven't made it active yet because, again, we're still working out ironing out some of the details. So at the moment, the best thing anyone could do is go and like the page and share the video as well. We've got a little announcement video that's actually hit 1.6 thousand views. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, it's probably my mum watching it over and over because. And sorry, shouts to. I know your mum and I know Nathan. He said your mum and dad might be watching. I know Mama Valentino is watching. So Mama Valentino.
I was going to bring up Mama Valentino later on in the night because
yeah. Oh, I've got some stories.
Scary as hell.
Mama Valentino is a big part of your wrestling career.
Massive.
I was going to bring up later in the show, so
we'll
definitely get on to Mama Valentino later.
Pasta sauce in my cupboard. The name on it is Mama Valentino's Bolognese.
I might make that branding, and then on the top to open it'll be a hook to point the way you have to do it. You know what I
mean? Dude, I've got to commend you for what you're doing with this entire project, especially in a time where essentially you can't walk outside your own front door. You are making a difference thousands of miles away.
Not yet. But I will be with the right support.
But I mean, you're getting it from the people like myself. I've donated my time, and those
Yes.
people that are watching this that may not be able to donate financially, if you've got a skill or something that even just sharing on social media, you can contribute to this hugely amazing cause by just a little bit of sweat equity, putting a little bit of effort in.
Yeah, I've got to say a massive thank you to you as well, Dom. Like when we first started talking about it. So for people who haven't seen, so if you do go online page and you'll see the graphics, it was Dom that donated his time and his effort and his energy into helping us. Again, it came from at some point we will do like I guess a behind the spirit. We'll do like a little, because we're going to do a few little videos and stuff, and I'll share some of the outtakes. Definitely share some of the outtakes videos, and I'll share the original design that Dom was able to bring to life in such a brilliant way. Because literally, when Dom sent it, so I sent him the original design, and at first I was like, I'm a bit hard. I'll draw it a little bit. And then we sat and he had the idea, and I started, and I was like, maybe I'm not. No, I don't think I am. So then I ended up making together, taking images on Word, and then I wrote a description, sent it to Dom, and God bless you, Dom. Like, he sent it back to us, and we were just absolutely. It's one of those moments when it helped it start to become real for us. It started being just the idea that we had. This thing we might do, that was what someone's already bought into what we're doing. Someone's given us their time, and they believe in what we're doing. And this is the proof. And then it helped us see it. It helped it literally breathe life into what it is. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Thank you.
Sorry, go on,
Nathan,
Dom.
carry on.
About you carry on.
Well, one of the things that I'd say is, as soon as I did that, the one thing you've only been at CPW a few times is when you return, and you will inevitably return, is the fact that there is those skills. Everyone's got those skills, and if someone's got something going on, we all dip in, and it's a family thing. And as soon as I said, Steve's got a thing going on, here you are. And it just takes that spreading of the word. And all it takes as well is to know that someone like yourself is passionate about it. And if you're not going to lend yourself to something that isn't worthwhile.
Well, as well, like you said, like the thing is, like I know some people at the moment, I'm not expecting people to step up, I'm not expecting that at all. But literally, if you want to help, but you're like, oh, maybe I can't, what you do to help spread the word by sharing the page, sharing the video, sharing the updates. You know who on your page might read it, and that's if you all you can do is contribute in that way. Just please do, because you don't know how you don't then going to read it, or you don't know who's then going to share it and share it and share it, and that's how. Do you know what? Let's just try and use social media for something good instead of vanity. Let's just use it for something positive.
Like you said. End of the day, word of mouth is sometimes better than just. Obviously, if you can.
Depends whose mouth. It depends whose mouth.
Like, you can donate money. If you can donate money, it's going to be appreciated. But if you can't, like you say, if you can just spread the awareness, sometimes that just means just as much. And again, we mentioned this last week's show, the project and the foundation. Before obviously we announced everyone that you were going to be on tonight, and we were saying last week, like, what an amazing idea it was, and like. The fact is, like, people don't understand this. Like, when you create something like this, it's not like people are like, oh yeah, it's a good thing. He's doing it for like a good deed and stuff. But like, there's a lot of effort that goes into that. It's not just about trying to do one thing to help someone else. It's like, you know, you have to put your time and effort in it, and it comes from the heart. You know, it's not just like, oh, I'm trying to look good as a person. It's like,
I think a lot of people love to sort of just. We all know, you know, we especially in the industry, we know full well that a lot of people like to just sit and go, oh, well, let me just sit on my ass and shoot you down. Okay, cool. Do you want to try and stand up and do something instead? So I think you know, that's one of the things I was a little bit wary of. I was like, oh, you know. You never know what people are, and it was something that when it was our idea, it was like, oh, this is going to be so great. And knowing, I've been around a bit. I do stand, and acting. All the attention-seeking shit you do, I've done it. You know what I mean? So, and I'm also aware of how people can just take something so and go, and people go, and I was the fact of when we shared it from something that was so pure when we were creating it, we share it to the public, and then what happens? That's time again. I'm gonna come back to you and we'll say thank you again, because the way you received it and the way you instantly offered your support and helped, it really honestly, it reminded me. I was like, no, have faith. Yeah. Have faith in people, and I think like someone did say some of it a bit negative, and they were like, "Oh, you buying instruments," because the way we're doing it, we're going to buy the instruments in Nigeria, and then we're going to have them posted from there. Because this is some of the things that we've learned because of, unfortunately, the corruption in the country at the way that things are. We couldn't literally ship them over, so that was some of the logistics.
We'd never get there.
Out. It wouldn't, and that just tells the story really. But so, one of the people who did, when they were first told about the project, their response was, "Oh, you're getting them instruments. Why don't you try and get them food?" And it's like, okay, right, well, fine. Are you trying to get them food? Yeah. No, you're not. Oh, yeah, you're not doing anything. And then more importantly, we all do. We all, we're all involved in wrestling because we love it. I would starve my week to wrestle once, So, and that's what, and then I'd be satisfied for another week afterwards because that memory would feed me. Would interest me, because it wouldn't literally, obviously, I'm not an idiot, but like, but it get me through the hunger.
You say about the negativity that can come through, and it is true. One of my favourite posts I always see on social media is, if you spend half as much time promoting what you love as you did shooting down what you hate, then the world would be a better place. And the fact is that when you look at these people and just go, if you're up there spouting negativity, that means you have no pull in the world. Because if you're out there putting positive things across, like you've got, the first time you came to me about the project, I was literally banging messages backwards and forwards to the point of your boredom, because I was that passionate about it. Because I go, yes, let's do this.
It was amazing.
No offense, but people just get annoyed when you message them anyway. So if you're going back and forth, like,
you don't have the phone off because I ain't going to message you
every week, Dom. Every week.
Oh, you're still alive, are you, Dale?
To be fair, when
I'm just getting bored listening to you.
To be fair, when you message me, Vera, I pretend to be asleep.
How much support have you had from those within the wrestling community for this project?
So far, I'll answer a few people. So far, the biggest support has been from you guys, from CPW. So far, I've got my company. So it's, I'm support Italian wrestling. So my company that I wrestle for out in Italy, they're going to do what they can. I think we're going to work out the logistics of it again, but I know they'll share it and stuff as well. And then I've got a few people who shared it as well. At the moment, like, the thing is, because we haven't set the date yet, I haven't done the big push of, hey guys, whereas where I'm here now because of you. I'm going to stop. I feel like, do you know what? The people who watch this that are probably seeing the way me and you are, and be confused, because this is not the that they have not met this side of us before. Don't imagine. Do you know what I mean?
it's like, oh, they're really nice guys, actually. Right, let's make them hate me.
This is all the work. This is all the work. Basically, Steve Valentino are going over to Nigeria. We're going to hand them the violins and just go, nah.
We're going to
Steve, imagine that as a heel turn, though. If you did all these instruments, brought all the instruments, they booked the show in the village, and then as you got in there, you invited him to the ring and just broke his violin again.
It'll be. When on my Instagram stories, it's me and Dom in Mexico take photos, and you're like, you motherfucker. That's where
Like I say, ladies and gentlemen, obviously Steve, we thank you for taking the time to share this amazing project and foundation that you've created with a friend of yours. Again, if you can go on his
Roxana
Facebook.
Grobelna.
Yeah, I don't think I can pronounce it.
Don't worry about it. I just had to make sure I got it in again because I know she's watching. So
yeah,
I don't get in trouble later.
That's a good point. But if you do go on Facebook, obviously, like the Spirit of the Foundation page, share.
Spirit of the music.
Obviously, keep up to date. Any news, any information, because obviously when that show goes live, make sure you're there to watch it and support them for a great cause.
Not just a great cause, possibly the only live gig you're going to see at the moment.
There is that.
Got a point.
Yeah.
Got a point.
Really. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys. What I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to go on and I'm going to...
Play Mario Kart, aren't you?
I'm not. I'm just going to... Although I might do in a second. It depends if Dale pipes up again, I might jump into Mario Kart. No, what I'm going to do is I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm just... Look, I'm sorry. I'm still the Pirate King. I apologize. No, I'm just gonna share it in the chat. I'm gonna put it in the YouTube chat now.
Yeah.
So the people who are watching it now,
yeah. Put it in the YouTube chat. People more than happy to do that. So again, like I say, it's a great cause, and it's amazing what you're doing. And obviously, we're happy to give you this platform tonight to share the message out there. So obviously, there are a lot of people watching tonight, and obviously, as always, every week we do have people on YouTube asking the questions. So what I want to do is get into your wrestling career now. We'll move away into the world of wrestling. Now, you long.
Sorry, so
how long you been wrestling for?
All right, so first started when I was 14 and I'm now 31. So that's what, 17 years?
Give or take.
Is that 17? Yeah, 17 years. Yeah.
Were you ready?
Yeah. So was I ready?
Were you ready at 14?
No,
Or did you hit those ropes too early?
I mean, at 14, I was pretty ready for it, man. I started because me and my friend, we were a tag team and we used to, I've still got the DVD that I've got it all on DVD now. It was VHS at the time, filmed with the old camera for the old wrestling. And then I first started, I went to Hammerlock. So that's where my first training camp was. And the first training camp was that. So we had John Ryan was Zack Sabre Jr. was the Pinnacle, who's now known as Wade Barrett, was there all at this training camp. And I've got the DVD of that somewhere as well. We did training matches. And that was when I first started. I traveled like 5 hours down to this place in St. Mary's Bay, Kent. And it was so terrifying. Like, I went in there thinking that I knew what I was doing because I'd wrestled in the backyard a little bit and I've watched it for a while. And then I walked in and I was like, oh my God, they're so big. And I am definitely a little boy. So, and then I remember my first bump and I remember my first bump and I was just like, oh, yeah. Okay, right. It's a bit harder than the mattress in the garden. And harder than the trampoline, definitely. And it was tough, man. It was a really tough week. Jake the Snake Roberts was supposed to be the guest trainer there. So this is my first interaction, first and only interaction with Jake the Snake Roberts. So we'd done our training, and Jake was arriving, and we were so excited. Like, it's Jake the Snake. But this was during Jake's darker years.
Yeah.
And so it was 17 years ago. This is Jake's going for a bad time. And I went to the shower after the workout session. And then it's all open. It was like this army barrack. It was all open showers, cubicles, and the toilet. And I just clicked up in here, and it's the cowboy boots, right? And I'm in the shower, right? And I ran to get showered quickly because you can't meet Jake smelling disgusting, even though obviously he does not give a shit. And I was like, I'm so excited. So I went, and then I was like, it's Jake. And I turn around, little 14-year-old me, and I was like, and he went, hey man, where's the toilet? And I was like, oh, no. And he walked past, and then I was like, I'm gonna meet Jake, I'm gonna meet Jake, I'm gonna meet Jake. In the time it took me to go back to the dorm, dry off, put clothes on, and go back to where
He'd been and gone.
he had a massive fallout with he had a massive fallout with the there was a bit of a bust up. I know what happened, don't tell the details. But stuff went down, and then my next of Jake was him driving away in the car. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, so that was 14. Then I came back to the middle, carried it, started, and then had no
How many
idea what I
times
was
have you
doing.
dined out on that story?
Not that many. That's
It's a good one. The one thing I love about
It's
you
a lot.
saying about the beginning of your career is, and not many people say it, is you were traveling like 5 hours.
Yeah,
And
we
there's
went
so,
down.
because
It was
there's
5
so many
hours to go
training
down
schools
to
around the UK now, and no one's got that putting in that effort to travel so far for what they love.
I'd say too. If I'm honest, it's oversaturated. It's oversaturated, and that's why, like, when I go to Italy, like out there, it was. I kind of felt my grandma was telling me where the Valentino name comes from, and really, like, when I got there and I felt at home. That was where I felt like great. That's where we first met each other and stuff, training out there. And the dedication that these guys have to train is incredible. I was looking after in between lockdowns in September. I went back out to SIW, and I ran a few training sessions with them, and some of them turned up and they were like, Steve, we weren't going to come, and then we found out that you were training, and so we've driven up, and I was like, driven from where? From Rome. I was like, oh, so just 4 hours away. You've driven for 4 hours to train. Well, shit, I better be good, which I was. But like,
just imagine they're getting 4 hours, 10 minutes in, they're like, now we're off again, lads.
yeah, like, do you know what,
Rubbish, I'm
Steve?
off.
Yeah, exactly. You know what, Steve? You are just a hook. You know what I mean? Like, you would have been.
But you, like you said, like you start your career at 14. You know, I know you've taken training sessions at a lot of places and stuff, and you know you see it all the time. And it's an interesting thing where the youngsters come in, or someone, even as a young adult, will come into wrestling, watching it, loving it, doing the backyard stuff. And like you say, you always like, yeah, I know this. I think I know what I'm doing. I've got it. And then you get in there, and it's just like you hit like a brick wall. You're like, oh shit, this is not what I thought it was.
Yeah, I think that's what makes me better at training now, because when I first started, so when I came back, I was training with one of the companies in the Midlands. I'm not going to name names, no reason to, because the people who were there aren't there anymore, and it's moved on and moved on and moved on. But the people that, when I first started training, the people that were there were people like Spud, but Drake Maverick, Dave Mastiff. Those were the kind of people that I was around. So I was seeing them, and then and I was and there was potential to be trained correctly, but that takes effort, doesn't it? So unfortunately, I carried on wrestling for a while. I don't know, most people probably won't know this part of the story, but so I wrestled for a while, and then when I came to 18, I finished college. My tag partner, my best friend, Tommy White, we were in a tag team called the Emo Express. So exactly, fitting, right? And so we come out to My Chemical Romance. And use a 7 scarves. People would take off. Take off while I was getting ready. All the typical things to sort of milk it. And so our plans that we finished college, we were going to go to America, and then we were going to go and train. The aim was, I think we were going to go to CPW. That's you guys, CZW, and that was the plan. So we were going to do that, and then unfortunately, which is why when I was listening earlier, and you were talking about how big the situation is for young people at the moment, it's something that is very, very dear to my heart, because he killed himself. So He took his own life when he was 19, I was 18. And then that made me stop. I tried wrestling for a little bit after that. But as we all know, when you lose someone so close to you, and it's someone who it's your brother, you know, that's what wrestling is. It's your family, and he was literally like my family. It made me stop wrestling because it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. So I stopped for a while and came back like 4 years ago because I watched. It was the WWE UK Championship that I watched. I watched the tournament and I was like, I think I've still got something here. There's still something there, and there's still something. There's still a part of me that feels like I want to do it for him. I want to do it for me as well because we always said we were going to make it to a certain point.
Yeah,
and there's some part of me. So, and when I came back and I started training properly, I realized how poorly I've been trained before. But it also made me realize how important that because he got bullied by the trainers. You know, like he got bullied by the trainers, like, and I can say that without a doubt, you know, and he got bullied by a lot of people in wrestling. And this is where we're supposed to feel safe. This is where we're we're not coming here because we fit in everywhere else. Found home in something that is an outcast niche thing. So we're already pushed out by everyone else. Can we not at least find love together?
Yeah, with the misfits.
And so for me, like, I just, with the broken toys,
Steve?
man. With the broken.
Steve?
Dale, it's all good.
Sorry to interrupt you, mate. Oh, no, your picture's come back on. Your picture's well off, mate, so I just wanted to check your picture. All right, so.
Dale's panicking, he can't see you. Dale's panicking, he can't see you.
No, it's fine. Don't worry, I'm still here. Thank you. No, but
Steve,
I can hear you, but I couldn't see you.
When you say about the world of misfits, I mean, there's Nathan and myself and you can relate to this. There's as performers, drama, music, wrestling. It's the home for the unwanted, and or the misfits, the people who don't so conform so much to society. However, as you say, it doesn't take place that much in music and drama as it does in wrestling. This bullying mentality you seem to be seeing, and I'm just going to say I'm so sorry that your partner had to go through that.
Yeah, really, I'm sorry, Steve, mate. I mean, that's a tragedy, mate.
It's been a long time, but it's also it's given me like an added feeling like I understand things a lot more. I'm a lot more like it helps me. I can teach people differently. In the way that I am, in the way that I do. You are the only person I know
within the wrestling community that I have never seen a negative post from you on social media. Everything you share is positive.
Well, don't get me wrong, I'm not always, but but no, there's no. I mean, the thing is, I see because I feel like people, when you're posting the negative, you're posting it to get a positive, right? So you're posting a negative to get a positive to validate yourself, right? Cool. Because so you're posting negative. So you're posting something at the expense of someone else to make yourself feel better. Well, what are we doing that for? I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I know a lot of people that do it. And I think, unfortunately, the thing is about our community, like, I get that things happen. And not everyone's going to get on. We're not all going to get on. And I know it might sound wishy-washy and whatever it is, but for me, I'm not someone who bites my tongue in terms of if I have an opinion, if I've got something that I really feel needs to be said, it will get said. And I have fallen out with people at times, at certain moments where that's happened. But I'm not gonna then put something on social media. There's been so many situations, private situations, I know that have happened that people around me know what's going on, and then they're like, they've seen me as the way that I handle it, and I'll keep it to myself because there's just no need in playing the he said she said game on social media, because I'm not doing it for likes. If I've dealt with the situation, I've fallen out with different people, and I could literally shut and show the world what's been. And then I just go no, and Sorry, internet's come a bit funny. Am I still okay?
You're
sorry.
there.
I apologise for any
Bit-
technical
bit-
issues. I
It's
think
just
I think it's myself because obviously I'm the one in charge, and I think it's my internet connection is making it
All right,
happen.
no
So I do
worries.
apologise.
It's chaos,
As long as you
Steve,
can
mate.
still hear me, that's fine. I don't know what upset Dale by having him not see me. Do you know what I mean? I'll send you some pictures later, Dale. You'll never have to miss me again,
I
don't
appreciate that.
worry. And,
I'll look forward to seeing them.
hey,
I-
I'm looking good.
I get what you're saying about it, Steve, because again, like I say, you're not always going to agree with everyone. People aren't always going to agree with each other. You're not always going to get on with each other. But again, there's not always the need to have to express everything online. I'm one of those people. I don't really get involved in any stuff online, the chit chats and stuff. Like I'm the type, I'd rather either do it personally, one on one, or anything like that. I don't see the need to have to voice my.
Or you do what
Steve as
Steve
well,
does,
like-
which is actually do something about it.
Yeah.
No, because you see a negative in the world and you create something like the Spirit of Music Foundation.
Yeah.
So you actually go, you know what? I've got a solution to contribute. So
Yeah.
you put your efforts into making
You can do
an
that.
outcome, a positive outcome.
There's so much people can do and stuff rather than just getting into the the back and forth comments that you say. Mentioned obviously, I know you talking about like obviously start your career and the place where you train and stuff, and you took the time out, unfortunately, and you recently came back. You've mentioned obviously one thing that I find fascinating, as someone else who's traveled as well, is the stuff that you've done abroad and how much it's different to the UK, but also like the love of it. To keep going out there and do the teaching and do the wrestling stuff. I actually think we do have some people from Italy watching us tonight. Which if they
fantastic.
are, we appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. For the captain.
There's my SIW out there. Oh, that's been streamed away. It's a little callback. From too early. All right.
Yes.
Hazza?
Tonight.
Come on!
Is it the Dead Sea Souls?
Get your spoons out for the captain.
Yeah. Shout out to the Dead Sea Souls, man. Yo, so my cousins.
Have we got any messages for Steve from his Italian brethren?
Yeah, so is it the Dead Sea Souls? I'm gonna say they're putting up.
Yeah, the Dead Sea Souls. Yeah.
I've asked for a story about yourself, Steve, and they're on about the era you gave to. Is it Ricardo? I'm going to pronounce his second name.
Yeah, Ricky. So that's my cousin. No, it's cool. So this is what's crazy, right? So and then one of the guys the last time I was there, the first time I was there, we had a picture together. So we had a picture together. It was my debut in Italy, and then he was at the next training camp. And then we were talking, the more we talked, and I was like, whereabouts are you from? Turns out he's like, I know it's one of those tenuous links, but we share a brain line. So it's my cousin, right? So my cousin, I've got a cousin in Italy that's my wrestling cousin, and Ricky, my brother, repping it there. All right, we swapped earrings. So that's it, man. Thank you, brother. Hooks, thank you for watching.
That's a
But
small
it's crazy.
world.
I couldn't believe it.
Crazy.
Brilliant.
It's ridiculous because it's not small at all. That's how tiny wrestling is. You're like, if I meet anyone and they're like, oh, I know such and such a wrestler, I know someone who wrestles. I promise I know them. And if I don't know them, I know who they're with. It's 100%. Yeah, it's tiny.
Steve,
Yeah,
I'm just looking at YouTube at the moment, and there's actually a message from Jay Roberts saying, sorry I didn't get to see you at that training session. We'll catch up soon.
Oh, okay. Well, Jay,
I think that's from Jake Roberts.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I was going to play along with it, mate, but never mind. It's all right. I understood that to you, man. I was going to do a bit of improv. Both being actors.
I was explaining for the rest of the lads on here.
I like how tragic it was that Dominic ruined his own thing.
Dom, I know who you're used to working with, mate, but you're talking to the captain over here, son. All right, I was gonna go with you. I was gonna talk about the show and maybe
when you gonna tag with Jimmy Vice so we can just have the vice captains.
Oh. No.
Wow.
I don't know if I can, mate.
I don't know if I like that name or not.
That's the worst joke ever.
Oh my goodness.
No,
Do you know what?
it also
That
makes
is-
me secondary. Also, Azza, by the way, so Azza,
Yeah.
just to clarify, so you said the first time that you saw me, the only time you saw me, which is a travesty
Yeah.
for you, but it's fine.
I know.
So that was when I made a girl cry, but you were the one stood next to her and you were trying to blame me. Like, honestly, looking at you, it's very clear that she went, "Ah!" And that was the end of that story. Like, I don't know why you tried to pin that on me, mate. It's
Because you screamed in her face. I remember.
no. If anything, me screaming at her face would have given her relief from having to be around you. For that split second that I was screaming at her, she would have gone, "Oh, at least I'm not looking at it." Ah! Like,
Yeah, I believe Steve was picking up on a shared experience theatre moment and actually just vocalising
Thank
what
you.
she was going through.
Dom.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing,
See,
Dom.
Dom.
Italy and shout outs. I think we've got another friend of yours from Italy, Brandon Massett.
Brandon, yo, shout out to Brandon, man. I'm gonna beat him up next time I see him, but love him. So Brandon's wicked. So Brandon's like this young kid who's out in Italy, and so like he. That's true. But Brandon's this kid. He's training out there, and he's working so hard. And like that the few days that I was there in September, it was so exciting to see how hard he was working. Same with my cousin Ricky, man. Shouts to him. But like Italy has got like SIW's got such a great team of like and just a little like a youth that's coming through, and they're all working so hard. And like honestly, some sucks about like obviously no. I was gonna say this is what sucks. Everything sucks about the current situation, but last summer, my company was supposed to come back, so we were going to do a weekend shows at a music festival that was supposed to happen. Obviously, music doesn't happen anymore, does it, lads? Unless you're watching Spirit of the Music. So,
Yeah.
Love it.
can we all? Can I do that one more time? But could just so I can clip it. So I'm going to say Spirit of the Music, and can we all do that, please? All right. So live music doesn't. Not yet. Done. Wait. Sit. Ready, guys? Come on. So live music doesn't happen anymore unless you're watching Spirit of the Music.
Hey.
We've all done. So
Brilliant.
great plug there. I love it.
Well, go on.
Just to say, the music weren't live. I did watch some music live on YouTube the other day, so I just want to put a damper on you.
Well, yeah,
Oh, well, Aaron, mate.
Well, I'm sorry,
yeah,
if you're putting it on me,
no need
I'm
to
coming
shoot a
back
man
to it.
down whilst
All
he's
right,
like
man.
he's trying to like do something good.
Right, so
No
I'm not to
need-
say I look ugly, but I can't shoot a man down. Nathan, get your head
Who
up
said?
Just
his
because
ass.
no
Get your
one
head
said you
up
look
his ass,
ugly.
Nathan.
No one.
Hooks
No
down,
one said
handbags
you look
up.
ugly.
You can shut up,
No
Vera.
one said you look ugly. Not a single
Very
person
nice.
said you look ugly.
Like-
I just said you made a girl cry. That's
I'm
not.
very nice.
Now, your
Steve-
interpretation of that tells
Steve,
more about your own perception of self.
Look at how he's got his phone at the moment. For a second, I thought he was you,
Yeah.
but in 16:9.
Dom,
Oh,
do you know?
That's
Dom, we
rude
invited
to
you.
me,
We're
son.
Sorry for you.
So,
Don't start
we-
me,
So
Dom.
anyway,
so we are talking about wrestling career, and obviously you just
so
mentioned
anyway,
there. Obviously, one of the things you did do into wrestling is you started your own promotion. And what was that like going from the world of being a wrestler? I know
Awful.
obviously you did wrestle on your show, but
I hate it.
how was it being a promoter? What did you learn from it, or what was your experience?
Oh, I hate it. I didn't want to do it. So here's how it started. So that's the Mama Valentino. If you're still watching, thank you so much for your support, because it wouldn't have happened without you. So
I'm glad you've raised that, because it was a quite unique situation that you were in, wasn't it?
well, the thing is, I didn't want to be in it in the first place, to be honest. So the Pro Wrestling's Rejected was started by Danny Devine, and Danny Devine gives some inside business now. So Danny Devine started Pro Wrestling's Rejected, and then he was planning the shows. He was doing everything that you do for a show.
Yeah.
You make the presence online, and God knows I've seen it 1,001 times when people go like my page, and which is what I'm doing right now. However, mine's actually going to come to something, so stay with me. But so it was another wrestling promotion started up, and it was another. Let's do this, let's do that, big dreams, but without the realism, like any kind of realistic sort of grounding in reality of how much it costs, what you have to do, and also just long, like it's not just sitting there playing fantasy booker. It's not. It doesn't work that way. And Dan was really excited, and I was excited to be part of it as well. And then his money guy dropped out. And then my mum was like, well, my mum spoke to Dan, and Dan spoke to my mum, and there was a few conversations that I think should have been part of. And then my mum was like, well, Steve, I think I want to invest in Pro Wrestling Subjective. And I was like, I think that's a terrible idea. Let's not do that, mum. Wrestling promotions are really hard. Right? And then, but the thing is with mum, God, I love you, mum. If you're watching, I love you. But we had this conversation, I think. Well, she did. She had belief in. Well, she believed in Dan and Pro Wrestling Subjective because it was a great idea and what he was wanting to do. Because the whole point was that we were going to create a platform for the guys like myself, like that need a platform to work with good, like with good storylines rather than just here's your spot. You're in Rumble, you're getting squashed by this big name guy. Blah, blah, blah. No, wrestlers need stories to develop, right? They need to be given time, and they need to be given character building situations so they understand what wrestling is. Because guess what?
Can we just say that again? Can you just say that again? Because that's got to go out as a soundbite. Because that basically is what you're on CPW at the moment. Because that's what we're doing.
Well, that's it. Wrestlers need time, they need storylines, they need situations where they can learn what their character is, what their character does, and how the character will react. It is not about what moves you can do. It's not about learning the technique of this, and this. You have to learn to work safe. Of course you do. You have to learn to protect your opponent. Of course you do. You have to learn to be able to make it look really good. Of course you do. But the only thing that will make a person develop as a performer is giving them chance to be in storylines where they understand and they have to think about what they are, what they want to be, and what they will do.
Hallelujah.
And that's how you get better.
Well, standing ovation there, mate.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
If there was a forward to the CPW book, that would be it.
It certainly is.
While we're on that subject, then,
that's what CPW is all about.
While we're on that subject, Steve, I have a question that you might be able to answer while we're talking about storylines. Wes Hanley, one of our fans and fans of the year.
Shout out to Wes. I know he's got his rum. For me, so thank you, Wes. I appreciate your support.
He wants to know, where did the pirate idea come from?
Didn't come from. I am a pirate. I don't know what kind of. It just is what it is. Like pirate. Look, let me break it down real quick. What a pirate is, right? So where the whole concept of being a pirate came from, right? So the reason that I identify and the reason that I am ingrained in my fucking soul as a pirate, it came from the fact that back in the day when people working class, lower, little, essentially slaves of the country, which we can argue whether or not we are now, but we can do that on a different podcast. but those, when we were there, when we were little peasants and peons, and we were lucky to get a scrap of bread. We were offered the chance to go to war, to fight for kings and queens and noblemen. And we were offered that, and we were offered a pay. And then we had children and family, and we were like, yes, I will do that. I will risk my life for the promise of this pay if I win the war for you. Not for you. If I risk my life and I win the war for you, you will pay me so I can feed my family. Oh, thank you. Please. Thank you, sir. Let me go and fight your war. And that's what we go and do, right? we'd get on ships and we'd go off and we'd sail off. And guess what? We'd win those wars. And then we'd come back, and what would happen? This is exactly what would happen. We'd come back, and because those noblemen and those princes, those princesses, those kings, those queens, because they were in such debt to the other rich people, the other noblemen in the state, they couldn't pay us. What would happen? We wouldn't get paid. So guess what? Our families would still die. That would happen. And what happened was, people like me, pirates, went, do you know what? I'm taking your ships and I'm taking your weapons and I'm sailing. That's when the world was considered flat. I would rather sail to the edge of the earth than kneel for a false idol and a false king. No, I will see the edge of, oh, what did you say was that? Sorry, what was that? Oh, so if I take this boat, the minute my foot hits land again, the penalty is death. Guess what, my friend? I choose fucking death than kneeling for a false piece of shit king. That's what a pirate is. They chose freedom. They chose freedom. Freedom and guaranteed death over kneeling for some bullshit king. That's why I'm a fucking pirate.
I feel like I'm the BBC interviewing Rob Lydon during this.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, I said that to you.
I feel like I'm doing a Sex Pistols interview.
One thing I've
There's an awkwardness secret to me, but there's also there's this love in it. I believe the question was.
Oh, do you know what?
I mean,
That was the best
where's
answer
the
ever.
Question.
gimmick is the way of life.
Go on, what was it? Sorry, just to refresh me.
The
What was
question related to essentially the pirate thing being a gimmick. Now, you know, the design work I've done. I've done tons of pirate cutlasses, hooks, the whole lot. Whereas essentially yours is a mentality. It's a state of mind rather than embracing a costume, so to speak. You're an opportunist. You're a privateer. You're out for yourself and you're not fighting for the establishment.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, I wouldn't say that for myself, because the thing is, like, so the pirate ships were where democracy first began. You had people who were sitting, you had anyone of any race, color, creed, or any, you didn't have to, if you had no arms and no legs, you can be in the crow's nest. There was room for everyone. And there had to be democracy on the ships. No, not so good, but you can still get over. You know, with the
No, mate.
come on, you
chucked you up there. Right, see you later, mate. We'll throw you
exactly.
We'll throw your bread up at 6 o'clock. See you later.
I've never been approached
No,
with that gimmick. My gimmick is the fact I have no arms and no legs.
I reckon if there's one place it could work, it's the CPW gallery.
Yeah, definitely.
The fans are very supportive.
But we were talking about, like I said, I was lucky enough to be part of the shows that you put on. And obviously I was there actually. I was also able to be on one of the shows when Danny first started off as well. And I saw the transition between the shows.
Yes.
And like you said, everyone's on YouTube is totally agree with you, and especially what you say about storylines is what's important. And obviously, you've worked a lot of shows around the UK and the Midlands, and the amount of shows that just don't focus on storylines, they just focus on putting a match out on that night, and that's it. And we discussed, like say, CPW is one of those companies that doesn't do that. We focus heavily on storylines, investing in and allowing the fans to really feel the characters. So obviously, you at the time were actively wrestling around the Midlands. Obviously, a couple of us from CPW came over to shows in the Midlands where we got to know each other. And obviously, you got interested then in CPW, hearing stories, watching stuff. And then you were lucky enough to... and we'll get Dal to talk about some of the matches you had in CPW. But before that, you obviously wrestled one of our best wrestlers in CPW history on another show.
Sorry.
And obviously that got you hungry to obviously want to come to CPW. So talk about the person you wrestled and obviously the hunger that came from that match.
Okay. Well, all right, fine. I'm glad that I lit my cigarette. I'm glad that I lit a cigarette for this, just to calm myself down. Like, I calmed myself down before you even brought it up, because I was thinking, I was like, when it's gonna get brought up because but right. So
What am I here to do, mate?
Steve, just before you continue,
go on,
I'm
please,
going to
please.
treat
Go.
you talking about this person much like I would do their match and have a piss break.
Oh
All
no.
right.
Okay. Well,
Hold down.
no.
Interesting.
Savage from Don there.
Oh,
See, I
Vera.
wouldn't leave. I wouldn't leave for a Will Star match because I think honestly, I think Will is genuinely like he's a great Will is genuinely he's great. He's a great wrestler.
Yeah,
He really is. And so there was another promotion that was starting, and Will was going to be there. And it's in the Midlands, you know, and we do get territorial as much. And like as we've said, I'm a positive person, but also egos are egos and pride is pride. And Will, I was hearing a lot about Will. I was hearing from a lot of people how good Will is, and this was when I was coming back into the world of it and stuff. Even on one of my.
yeah, because I was saying you booked before you wrestled him a few weeks because you found out he was going to be on this other show. You booked him to look at him because I remember being in the match with him. Yeah, carry on.
Well, I did. So I'd heard how good Will is, and the thing is, like, I wanna train with. I want to be not the stupidest, but I want to be the worst wrestler in the locker room. In terms of, I like the best way. The only way you can get better is by wrestling people better than you, and you have to be in a room with people who are better than you. Means you shut up and you listen, and then you learn. And I'm hearing that Will's this great wrestler. Okay, cool. What got me though was that he was calling himself Mr. Wrestling. Now, I'm just gonna.
What's he got in that cigarette?
Who knows?
I don't know.
It's just a cigarette. Don't worry. I've stopped doing that. I've been clean for a long time actually. I'm quite proud of myself.
Send some other.
So he's calling himself Mr. Wrestling. Now, I love this sport. I love what we do. But if you're gonna you're gonna give yourself the title of Mr. Wrestling, you better be the best. Because if you're gonna say Mr. Wrestling, well, let's find out.
Mm-hmm.
And then unfortunately, he was on shows when I wasn't booked, and I lived down the road from those shows. And I was like, well, let's face it. I literally lived 10 minutes from this venue, and you're saying you're Mr. Wrestling, and I'm not on these shows. Are you really saying that? You're gonna claim Mr. Wrestling, and you know I'm down the road. I don't think you. All right, cool. And unfortunately, I let the anger got a bit of the better of me. There's some promos that are knocking about where I call him out and I say exactly that, because I felt it was a personal affront to me, because I'm back now. I'm like, if I wasn't back, fine, cool, but I am, and I'm working hard. I'm working in the gym. I'm busting my ass, and I'm training with the best people in the UK. Right? I'm actually out there doing it. And what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you working as hard as me, or are you sitting at home stroking your dogs while Lauren's stroking your ego? Let's really talk about it. Let's really talk about it. No, I'm just saying. No, these are facts. I'm just saying facts. Like, you can take it whichever way you want, but I'm saying facts. You can do that. Am I wrong? No.
Say what you
I
want.
don't think he was
quiet.
I mean, he wasn't with Lauren at this time in this.
He wasn't.
Well, what's he
might have been
doing
talking
now?
about a different
I was
Lauren.
the one stroking his ego at the time.
Oh yeah, fine. Nathan was stroking his ego. Oh, the usual suspects. You're damn right you are. But you know, it is what it is, right? But so unfortunately, I let my anger get the better of me when we wrestled, and he out wrestled me. He did, because I was too angry, and it got to me. And I came in frustrated. I came in angry. So I wasn't calm. I wasn't in control like I should be. And he got the better of me at the other promotion, which is why, I had to come to CPW, his promotion. And look, here's one of the things I saw earlier in the chat. One of the questions was, what's my favorite? Steve, what's your favorite thing about CPW? And here's the thing that's probably you're gonna be like, what? Honestly, it's the fans, right? And I came out. My plan for that night, the night that I debuted in CPW, my plan for that night was to come out because I love Will. Oh, Will's Mr. CPW, right? So I was like, all right, well, guess what? Love me then, and then see what I do to Mr. CPW. And that's what happened, right? The problem for me was that love was so genuine. It was so real.
Yeah. Once you've got it, you don't want to.
I remember this happening.
Yeah.
And
happening, and like they were so excited for you to be coming on the show. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, we're actually going to see the captain of CPW." The love was in. It was the best feeling ever.
But Steve, as someone who's had that love, like myself, you're better off without it. It's a disease.
Yeah. Just start talking about the galaxy like that.
It affects what you can do. It detracts away from you when you keep your eyes on the prize. And you were right to do what you did. Because I can see a greater future. Because one thing you might not know of that night is the fact that you cracked that armor in Will Star. Because that night where you did what you did to him, he's never been the same since. Not once. And I know it's like a little worm burrowing down the fact that he can never get over that the start of his downfall and losing the lineal championship was you.
Right.
But like you said, so we're going back to like you saying there, Steve. You came in with all this love, and let's carry on from what happened there.
But so the thing is, like, it felt good to hurt the fans.
Mm-hmm.
When I like, man, that video, man, he's and I heard them. And I looked at him and he dropped, and I hit him and I sat and I just stared at him and I told him, I came here to how do you destroy a galaxy? You take out its star.
Beautiful.
And that's what I was there to do. But the problem
after you've done that, I know there's a moment, because you've done what you did in the ring, and there was a moment Dale wants to talk to you about when you walked backstage. And you were waiting for a camera to be put in front of you, and you were pacing like a wolf.
I was, because I was, but because there's something about Will that just, I feel like, he's beat me, I've beat him. Now I got the last victory. So I can walk away. I'm like, well, you beat me, then I got better. Now I'm better than you. But to me, I feel like there's only one thing that needs to happen, really. And I feel like me and Will, we have to go again. But I think that when that happened, I think I broke him. I think what happened was that I came in, and I was doing it against him. And when the crowd reacted the way they did, when they hated me that much, like, I was happy. I was so happy because I knew what I was doing to him. But then I've wrestled Georgie boy.
You did, yes.
He got the best of me, and I shook his hand because he earned it.
Well, at the time, George was one of Will's #1 students.
Well, this is it. You know, I beat the master and then the student beat me. So then what does that mean? Maybe the best thing that could happen is a round robin tournament to see who's the best. Because that's all I'm here for. I'm here to prove that I'm the best.
Do you know
So-
what George did to Will?
What did he do?
I'd say a couple of months later, he joined my faction, and he dropped Will on his ass.
See,
Yeah,
now,
Did.
You
Go
say that, Don, but then what did he do after that as well? He dropped one of your boys on his ass, which ended up with you being knocked out in the back of a van.
What happened to
Just goes
G6?
around, comes around.
What
What
I'm
happened to
saying
G6? I
is-
think they got cut.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say at the moment is Steve knows, and what I know is the fact that Will always put himself at the top of the mountain, looking
So-
down,
No.
never giving people a
Deny
lift
that.
up.
No.
Putting himself there, he deserves to be there.
Well,
I mean,
here's
yeah,
the
I
way. No, but let's find out if he does deserve. The only way to prove
Yeah.
that, then, if I beat him once, and then I think I could beat him again.
But let's
Well,
say
right
that
now-
match happens, Steve.
right
Let's
now-
say, Nathan, hold on, Nathan, one second. Let's say that match happens, Steve. Right now, you've said so. He beat you. You've trained your ass off. You've come back. You beat him. Yeah, that makes you the better person. So let's say this match happens, and he beats you. Yeah. So will you in that ring say that he is the better person and shake his hand like a true gentleman?
If Will can beat me, but hold on. So we've got 1-4 each. Now let's CPW Galaxy, you're on the chat now. So Nathan, you can see that, right? I'm not watching it.
I mean,
I
Wes
can see it.
has already said that the captain versus Will inside the CPW prison would be epic.
Mhm.
Which
It would be, yes.
again, if you put you two inside a prison, that anything could happen. Dangerous environment. Again, you wrestled Will at the outside promotion in a straight wrestling match. You then wrestled him in a straight wrestling match. He calls himself Mr. Wrestling.
I think
You think you're the better wrestler. So do you finish it with a normal wrestling match still and keep it a wrestling match to prove who's the better wrestler? Or do you put on a stipulation to see and up the ante?
I'm saying that why don't we do 2 out of 3 falls?
Yeah, that would be nice.
That's a great decider.
Yeah.
That
Not
would
a
be
bad
nice.
decider.
We do. I think 2 out of 3 falls because I think I'm a much better wrestler. I'm like Matt Wise, a better wrestler now because of the training I've been doing. I'm not sitting at home with Lauren and the dogs. So I'm saying I'm actually training. You know.
Yeah.
So
Steve, can I borrow your attention for just one
of
moment?
course you can, sir.
Just one moment. I'm not saying you're making a mistake. I promise you're not making a mistake. But the only error you're thinking about is making it about wrestling. Because what did you feel when you walked out into that CPW crowd? You felt what Will Starr feels, and they loved you. That's what you take from him. You can do that. You had them in the palm of your hand, and from my perspective, more than he ever did.
But here's what I know I can do. I know if you lock me and Will in a cage. If you gave me steel to play with against Will,
This is my question.
I would destroy. I would destroy him.
A rig match.
In a way that I would. But that's not why I want to beat him. I want to beat him because he called himself Mr. Wrestling, and he claims that he's this. And I think I can make him realize that he might be this, but I'm this.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to do that is to out wrestle him. And I think I could do that all day. I really do. And I think a 2 out of 3 falls match. Is that not the best way to prove who's the best wrestler?
Yeah.
Agreed, they are.
I agree. I think it probably is.
And
I
this
agree
is
with what you're
point I'm
saying.
trying to make, Steve, is if I look at your careers right now and where you both are right now, because you're both similar ages, you both did start at the similar ages, you both took time off. Your stories from start to now are quite similar. people that he started off with and where they are now in their careers, and how your story's gone is very interesting and similar. And like you said, he was, I'm using the word was on purpose because he was the top of the mountain. And he's been taken off that top of the mountain. And his career at the moment in CPW is no one knows where he's at. You know, he wins some, he loses some. You know, he's not Mr. Consistent. He's not Mr. Consistent like he used to be.
He hasn't got a focus.
Yeah, he's had things. He's had his arm and knock, shall we say? Whereas you, again, we're coming out of unfortunately for yourself, 11-month period where there's not been any wrestling. So at the moment, right now, if we would do this match, if this match ever happened in the next year or so, your careers again are on the same level playing field.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you've got a goal that you want. You want to prove something, and I reckon it'll something would relight a fire and give him something to go for again. And I think that would create something epic in the future.
I think so. I think you're not wrong. But also, I mean, it sounds like I would, if I wrestled Will now, like the way that I feel about myself, the confidence that I've got, and if he's on a downward spiral, if he's on a miss-hitting, that's not the Will that I want. That's not who I want. I want Mr. I'm out, Mr. Galaxy, Mr. Wrestling, Mr. Boo. You know, I want the Will Star. No,
but I think this would light that fire.
Well, let's get the message out there.
So basically, you want the man that was the lineal heavyweight champion of CPW. You want the man that beat Mr. Richards in the cage match to win that championship. You want that man.
I want the best Wills. Yeah, I want, because there's no point beating him any other way. I don't want the although I'm aware that I'm the one that broke him, but I don't want the broken version of him, even though it's my fault. I don't want that version of him. God, I guess I should be mad at myself.
But anyway,
maybe I should have been softer on his ego. Oh.
We do know that Will Star and Lauren do look at this from time to time, and I'm pretty sure Lauren will mention something to Will regarding what may have been said on here tonight, and he will.
Oh, does she do her elbow drop? Does she? Oh, go on, Lauren,
however,
do your elbow drop.
Obviously, we have got people watching from Italy. We thank you for that. And we've got people watching tonight. Those might never seen the Will Star versus Steve Valentino match. So for those who haven't, after this podcast tonight finishes, the match will be shown on YouTube. It will be Will Star, the captain. So people go back and relive that match and what could lead into a pinnacle 2 out of 3 falls match if it was ever to happen.
I think it will happen. I think it's the only thing that should happen. I thought about this before. I knew we were going to talk about Will. I knew we would, because we have to, because CPW and it's Will, can't not talk about him. Yeah. But real talk though, I knew it was going to happen. But I feel like there's so much unfinished business. And I also feel like me and him haven't. I feel like we both met each other at points of anger. Because obviously I made him really angry. And he made me angry by being him. But this time I feel like we need to do it 2 out of 3 falls. I hate
to admit it, but I think the Galaxy that love Will so much kind of needs you. Needs you, because if they want that Will Star they love so much, he needs to be remade.
Well, as I said, I came in with the intention of destroying CPW, because I thought CPW was a Will, and now I realise CPW is the fans, and they're genuinely awesome.
Yeah.
And I've realised that, that's why I was doing this. I was like, you know what, I actually do. My favourite thing about them is the fans, because they're awesome, and they really are. And I don't want to destroy Will. I just want to prove who's the best wrestler.
Yeah, it's gone from just that to that now. You know what I mean?
For me, it's not bad blood, although for him, obviously I beat him. So, but so he's probably a bit ego hurt. But for me, it's about proving, if you're going to claim something, I want that I dispute, the only way to settle that is to, meet in the ring. That's what we do. That's what we're here for.
Okay, Steve. So, like we've said, there's a couple of things that I want to discuss about your CPW days, like the matches that you had. That promo that Malcolm was talking about, we'll get to that in just a second. Obviously, your first match, like you said, was against George Lydon. So what would you say about that match, about not just the crowd and about that match itself? What would you say about that? What's your memories of that match?
I really enjoyed it, man. It was because I was wrestling George. I think he's someone he reminds me of. It's cliche to say, but it reminds me of me. He was someone. He's working hard. Maybe he doesn't talk when I was so that's probably going to work in his benefit. But he's a good kid. He's working hard and he hit hard and he tried. He did his best. And the problem was that when I wrestled him the next time, I took him. I kind of took for granted that I was going to get it was to my detriment. That's my mistake. And I also have a score to settle with him.
Yeah,
but again, it's sports.
He's a young lad with a lot of potential. Very talented youngster with a bright future ahead of him. And he's had some very good matches and very memorable matches in CPW. He's had a very good CPW career. And like I say, he's someone that, like I say again, is someone that, again, if you went in the ring with him again, you could have a good match with.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I look forward to it. I think we should. Be back in 2 seconds, guys, all right?
Yeah, no
worries. We'll carry on talking to you even though you're not here.
Right.
Aaron, what's happening on YouTube? I mean, much going on, much being said?
No, we're just obviously, everyone's just enjoying it tonight. There's not many questions being fired at us, really. Loads of jokes, but not many
pirate jokes.
Yeah,
pirate jokes.
We will do the pirate jokes a little bit later on then.
Yeah.
Keep them locked on. What?
So while he's gone, what do you reckon to the Will Star Steve Valentino match? Who's coming out of that one?
That would be fantastic.
2 out of 3 falls. Who's winning?
2 out of 3 falls. Wow.
Yeah, I think Wes has summed it up perfectly here. This new Will Star versus Captain, no contest. Steve Valentino wins. If it's the old Will Star versus the Captain, it has match of the year written all over it, and it could go either way.
Now, you're going to think this is surprising. I might have been sucking up to Steve a little bit. He's not CPW
really?
Born and bred. He's coming in from outside. So if he was going to come in and face Steve, we need the galaxy behind Will Star. Okay, because there's no way
they're always behind Will Star
coming in and beating him.
You know he can hear us no matter what. There's speakers.
You know what? I'll put this out there now.
I'm just saying. And on that note, whilst he's off, I'm going to quickly go to the toilet as well because I'm.
No, he's back. He's back.
And as I said, Steve will be the winner without a doubt.
So no,
thank you. That's what you said, Dom. I believe you.
Why we were talking about it, Dom, and I'm going to carry that on. I believe the Will Star we're seeing at the moment, Steve, it's not the Will Star that you know. No. Yeah. And I believe the factors behind it was Will Star was betrayed by his Silk brother, somebody that he was very close to, tag team partners, etc., etc. I think that broke him a bit. I'm not saying you didn't break him, Steve. I'm not saying that. No. But I think it's a factor. It's a big factor. You know what I'm saying? I think you started the ball rolling. Then you've got G6. Now you've got to remember, he's in G6. You did have people like George in there. You had James Cross in there, Dingo. These are the lads that trained in and out and come from the Will Star cloth, let's say. And I feel that he felt betrayed by them as well. So I think the Will Star we're seeing at the moment, Steve, is a Will Star that's worried. He's watching his back no matter where he turns, who's going to attack him next. what person's going to attack him next, the person next to him, person in front of him. So for you,
It does come
like,
to the
I
point
agree
in your
with you,
life
Steve.
when the only people you can trust is your enemies.
Let's come to the point, Dom. Let
Well,
someone else talk
maybe-
but yourself. Yeah.
Sorry.
So if you sit back, Dom,
Sorry,
let me
mate.
finish.
Do
Yeah.
apologise.
Okay, let's sit back. So Steve, I agree with you that I feel if you come in now, I don't think you are going to get the best of him, and I don't think if you beat him, Steve, you would not have this. Let's say, I'm going to put it this way, but don't take it this way, but like a bragging right that I've beaten your Will Star. I
No,
think
you're right. No, you're
you
right.
need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
100%.
don't think. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I,
a
I,
really
I
good
wouldn't be
point, Aaron.
satisfied. I bet you I wouldn't be satisfied if I was you with the victory over the Will Star that we have at the moment. That's basically what I would say.
You wouldn't be satisfied. You'd be satisfied opening a small spot. Okay, cool. No worries. So we're talking about with Will. So the thing is, I think all I want the best version of Will I can get. That's all I want. That's how I beat him. I want him to be the best version I can get. And I don't know how he would receive this, but if everyone's turning on him and he needs someone who can support him, maybe I could watch his. I don't know. I want him to be the best version of him he can be.
Yeah, agreed.
Before I beat him. Otherwise, there's no, like you said, you're right. Like, whatever it is, there's no value to beating a wounded animal. You don't take pride in that kill.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to take pride in the victory. And if I can't take pride in it, there's no pride. There's no point doing it.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree with you. So
Well, perhaps if we haven't got the answers, if for once we haven't got the answers, perhaps let's put it out to the galaxy. Let's put it out to the CPW fans. How do we rebuild Will Star for that match?
let's
How
see
do
what
they
to say
think?
there, right?
What do they think we should be doing?
So Dal, I think you.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Something important that you wanted to get discussing
Look,
with the captain.
Like I say, you had your match with George, Steve, and then you went on to do what you did to Will, like you talked about earlier, when you broke him down, you beat him down, you turned your back on the galaxy you had in your palm of your hand, and you just throw them away, and you took Will in front of his fans and destroyed him. Would you say that's what you did, pretty much? Do you agree with that?
I'd say that's, yeah, I mean, makes me feel bad when you say it that way. I mean, I'm not like a. When you break it down to me when you tell me exactly what I did, yeah, that makes you feel a bit bad. But I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I did. So
Yeah. So what I want to talk about, the that promo you did after that match, because that for me was magnificent. And I got to admit that. I watched that and thought, oh my God, for what you did in that promo. So was it just an off the cuff thing? Think, right, this is what I'm going to do. Just bang off the cuff, do it. Is that what you did on the night, the moment, or is that what it was in the moment?
Yeah, just in the moment, mate. It was just I felt like I needed to say something, and then just went for it. Like it was just a feeling that was there. I was like, well, but look, I've been a performer for a while. I've learned to trust my instincts, and it was just a fire that's in me, man. Like I don't worry about. I just trust myself as a performer when I'm trying to speak. I feel like I can do it and then just go. So, and in that time there was so much in me, so much anger, so much emotional from the crowd, from Will, from everything. It was here, and it had to come out somewhere. And I'm just glad it came out as well as it did, I guess. But
It was
yeah,
visceral.
just improv.
It
was.
Yeah, it was something fantastic. Actually, it was something that I hoped that a lot of our wrestlers and wrestlers all around watch that and see that emotion that you gave and actually say that, do you know what, this is what we should do, because you did that, like you say, off the cuff. No one told you to do that. You just went, right, this is what I'm doing, bam, and there it was.
Well,
I agree.
what I would say, going Nathan, you go.
No, sorry. I was just going to say, like, the promo was fantastic, and I really wanted to get onto the promo side of things with you because I obviously I've known you for and obviously I know other promotions you've worked at, and one thing that you love to do, and I've seen them posted all the time and different things. One thing you love is a promo. You love a good promo, either if it's in ring or if it's advertising a show, advertising a match or whatever, or if it's calling someone out, etc. You one thing you love, you know, because it does help a character. It builds a character, it elevates a character no matter what, especially good promos. And I've always, as someone who loves promo work and loves doing promos, do you think having a performing arts background and having that background in acting and knowing how to use words and how to manipulate words, do you think that helps when it comes to creating promos or even just going on in a promo just off the cuff?
Massive. I mean, it definitely helps. I was only active for years and I've done plays, like, without question. That helped massively for me, because it just gives me confidence to trust myself. Like I said before, it's like, right, I feel this. Come out! That's how I was like, now I feel you. Well, yeah.
The fact is, it was a post-match promo. You'd already established the character in your head by having the match.
Yeah.
You come out
Big
and that
time.
was still rattling around in your head. You go, give me a camera now. And that's the most heartfelt you could be.
I don't really understand. Like anyone who wants it, because anyone who doesn't understand what wrestling is, like anyone who's wrestling and doesn't get the fact that we are performers, then you should best every tool you have at your disposal, you should learn to sharpen. You should try to sharpen and learn to use, and that's what we should be doing. So vocally, physically, like facially, all these things that we have at our disposal, like we should be using them. So if you can tell a story by grabbing a camera, and then you can add, even if it's only for 10% of the audience, and I've wrestled in front of like audiences where 10% would be 2 people. But little 2 people, they're even more invested in the story because you put the promo out. Like it just makes sense, because it also makes sense for you as well, because you then learn more about your motivation, because instead of sitting there going, as I said earlier, instead of sitting there going, you nip up and then you sleep and leap and then you do a toe bay and then you do a dive off the top. That's all well and good, but if you spend the time to work out why you as the wrestler are doing the thing you're doing, and then you try and put it to words, then you work out extra things, because then you think, oh, I could do that, because then like, oh, now I'm angry at this person because of this, so how's my approach going to be to them? Am I going to run out and just like, if I'm so angry that I'm going to grab a hand like at the camera, cool. Well, then am I going to do a little around? Well, probably not then. I'm probably going to just, okay, boom, 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 boom. Or I'm going to get, hey, it's all about respect. It's all about this and this. So then maybe we're going to go a different way. And it helps you as a... So even like any trainees that are watching this, right? Like, actually, any wrestlers, even if you're not going to record it, at least think about it. Think about what your promo would say, because then you'll learn your motivation. And then when you understand your motivation, you understand the story even better. You know, that's why it just makes sense to me. Like, and that's why I enjoy doing it. And so, as an arts background, yeah, it helps me massively. But then for people who don't necessarily have that, there's what would stop you from educating yourself. You can teach yourself guitar, so guess you can also teach yourself to act by reading, watching interviews, by doing those things. There's room for it to happen, you know. So yeah,
Absolutely, Steve. Like I say, but let's get in to that Will Star match.
Oh yeah.
CPW versus the World. Let's get into that match, right? You, Will Star, the match you wanted to come to CPW and take him and beat him in his own backyard, if you like. So, what do you feel about how you did and that match as a whole?
I'm pretty bad, to be honest. I mean, like, when you can get in someone's head that way, you can. When someone thinks they know you, thinks they can beat you, and then you can just judge they're wrong. There's something, there's something. I mean, how could you not be proud of that? I'm not even in. Like, I'm still on the side of I will work with Will to help build his confidence back up. I will give him a gentleman's agreement, which I understand I don't want to take. I would still shake his hand and protect him. I would have his back. I would get beat down with him. I will beat him. Actually, I wouldn't get beat down, but I'd be there with him. I'd protect him just to build his confidence back up. I am still there, but let's not. It's not amazing to have someone beat you and you go to their home and beat them. Come on. Of course I feel good about it. Maybe I could have done it. But could I have done it nicer? No, I still got my arm raised. I didn't do anything too bad. It was what it was. And I still beat me. I avenged that loss. I'm not even going to be mad at that. I'm not even going to pretend I'm proud. Of course I am. It's Will Star. Mr. CPW. It's really hard being on side, isn't it? Oh, I'm trying. I am trying. I mean it, Will. Let's team up.
I love it. I like to say, you did what you had to do and did what you said you were going to do, and why not be proud of it? You stuck to your word, you've kept the promise, and you've done it. And remember, guys, if you've not seen this match, it will be on after the show. Will Star versus Steve Valentino in the show CPW versus the World. And like I say, it led to probably one of the strongest promos in CPW history. It's got to be up there.
Sure, yes, for sure, yes.
And obviously, we're talking about your promo style and the stuff you do at promo. I do outside of wrestling, and we'll quickly talk about this briefly whilst we're on promos. And I think it helps with promo, but also I think it something shows how invested you get into using words. Is you have a big love for poetry, and you do
Watching some of your stuff, Steve, love it.
You do this poetry stuff on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
Talk about where that came from, and also, like I say, I think that if people want to watch you read your poetry out, go on his Facebook page, but you'll see how that actually does relate to the promo you cut as well.
Oh, big time, yeah. I mean, well, it just means I've got a different. My love for poetry started when I was 12, maybe, probably. I think we all can identify with being a teenager or soon-to-be teenager who has a certain level of angst and frustration within themselves. There's nowhere for it to go, and for a lot of us, we turn to wrestling. That's why we're here. And again, it's that not feeling like you can fit in, and it was the same for me when I was growing up. And but Eminem inspired me because I saw someone, listened to that, and I was like, wait a minute, maybe I can do that. I couldn't, not to his level, obviously. I'm not stupid, but I started writing poetry then, and I say poetry. I started writing raps then, but so I was trying to be a rapper when I was like 12, 13, 14. Then wrestling, again, desperate attention seeking. But poetry sort of became a way for me to express myself and sort of find a release. And it didn't matter. I didn't even need an audience for it as much. Like, it was just for me to just put it down and then read it back. And I've always come back to words. I've always come back to words over and over and over. I'm finding that that's just a way for me to express truly how I feel inside. And when I take the time to really articulate it, I feel better because it's made sense to me. So why I always tell people to, if you don't have a journal, write a journal, just so you can see your words back, so you can see my thoughts back. And that's what I've found with my poetry. So currently at the moment, if you go to Steve Allen on YouTube, you'll see that I'm doing a little series of the pirate and his poems. So I'm just going back and reliving my old poetry, and I'm reading those back and just literally reliving them, because I realized that I've got like nearly 100 poems I've written over the years.
Wow.
And I didn't even realize. Yeah, like I was just putting
Wow.
them out on this website, and the website closed, and they emailed me and was like, here's your poems back. And I was like, oh wow, cool, okay. So I'm currently working through them, putting them together in collections, and I'm going to be, my website's going to be up and running in a few months. And there's a publish on demand service that Amazon has. So many things are in the works at the moment, but potentially there could be a Steve Valentino collection of poems by the end of the year that you guys could purchase. So yeah,
Steve,
thank you for
Steve,
that's
reminding me
awesome.
to plug that.
No,
Steve,
that's
Wow, there you go.
Can we hear one now, Steve?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. A short one. Let's see.
Yeah, just before you do your poem, I apologise to interrupt you there.
Yeah, sure. No, don't worry.
Ladies and gentlemen, you might have seen that unfortunately Mr. De Winter himself has left. He sends his apologies. He unfortunately had some stuff that's come up and he's had to leave at home. But he in the show tonight, Steve, and he expresses his apologies that he's not able to stay for the end of the show.
Don't worry. I've just looked at the time as well, so I think it might be about time for me to leave as well, to be honest.
Yeah,
guys.
so we haven't got long left. We've only got a few minutes, got long left. So
well, before I
poem.
do go on. All right, okay, all right. I'll give you one. So I've just posted this. So if you go onto my Facebook or my Instagram, you're able to see a probably better version than this, but I'll give you one. So see, I write a lot of things, and I look back on them years later, like, what were you thinking? That was so cliche. What were you even trying to say? Just rambling on, trying to write something poetic and cool, writing a diary that was waiting to be published. Fucking rubbish. Just overly cryptic, so narcissistic, desperate for a witness, mate. It was fucking dross. But see, I write a lot of things, but I'm always getting interrupted in the middle of a composition, fracturing the vision. Then when I return to it, it's too complex, like long division. Thought minus attention divided equals 0, fucks given, and then poof. But see, I write a lot of things, and my words build like a crescendo of a quartet, and I'm not bored yet. So assist with those forceps. Let's give birth to these ideas. Free flow to free form, to breaking down stereotypes of the norm. And what for? Well, no reason. But I'm putting my brain on trial for treason, as my heart longs for something to believe in, and my mind can't process these feelings, and I'm desperately struggling for air, then trying to make my lungs breathe in. And there's more to that. If you want to see the rest of it, go to the social media.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was good, mate. That was good, mate.
So we have only got about 15 minutes left, and we've got a lot of questions on YouTube that we pretty
go
yeah, around and get these questions into you. So Aaron, over to you. Let's get these questions over to Steve and get these questions from the fans that have joined us tonight.
Yeah, so I believe one of your Italian friends, whether they're still online, is it Brandon? He did ask a question earlier, and I was waiting to get to it. We're here now. What has been your favourite moment in wrestling, in your wrestling career?
Favourite moment in wrestling career? Okay, so let's see. Honestly, right, and I'm not just saying this because it's coming from the Italian guys, right? The moment that I came out and I got to wrestle in my grandma's home country, and I came out and it was in Italy and I debuted in Italy, it made me feel like I was becoming the wrestler that I wanted to be. You know, when you go to a different country, you get to wrestle. Like, it just made me feel like I was on the way in a different. It gave me a different feeling, and it made me feel so at home, and I was just so grateful for it. So that kind of is, as cheesy as that is, and wearing this,
No.
it's from the Italian guys, but that is the truth, man. Debuting in Italy was just an incredible moment for me.
I bet, yeah, so especially as you say, it's your grandma's home country as well, you know, and it's kind of like, I suppose when you're in your own promotion, own area, you're in your own little like safety net as well. So you're leaving that little safety bubble going out there. You know, yeah, I get what you're saying. Okay, are we going to carry on with the questions?
Yeah, just
Nathan?
keep
Should we
rolling.
Yeah,
these off, mate.
fire
keep
them
going
out?
out, mate.
Let's go.
Fire them out. Okay, just going to fire them out. Wes wants to know: would Steve consider joining a Dominic De Winter dynasty? Bear in mind, he's not here now. You can say what you
I
want.
mean, he's a pirate. The answer should be obvious.
No, I'm not bowing down to anyone. And like, as much as I respect Dom as a person, no, sorry, Dom, that's not happening, mate. I'm my own captain. All right, I'm my own captain of my own ship.
I was about to say he's got his own ship and he's sailing it himself. But it's the way it ain't his own ship because he stole it from somebody else. Probably. So, Pro Wrestling wants to know: does Steve hope to have gold in his CPW future?
Pirates love treasure. I'm not here for fun. So yeah, I want to collect as much as I can. Tag team gold, I definitely would like to have, but obviously single titles as well. Yeah, as much as I can take, I'm gonna take 100%. Yeah.
And who would you like to tag with? You know, with who you know at the moment. I know you probably don't know some of the newer people, but with who you know in CPW.
There's two. So George has got my respect. So me and George against, especially, who's your champions at the moment?
It's
Who's
fake
the tag team
team
champions
madness.
right now?
Fake team madness.
Team Madness,
Team
Leighton
Madness,
Sims,
Team Madness,
and
Leighton Simpson, Eli Connors.
Fake.
Yeah, I think me and George would do well against them. I'll tell you what match I'd love to have as well, tag team wise, me and George versus the Merseyside Murder Squad.
That's interesting. You mentioned that because
yeah, I was just seeing this question.
Yeah, I was going to say, because obviously you mentioned Merseyside Murder Squad there. I heard the rumor that there was talks of a contract being signed for Oman at CPW inside the prison, which unfortunately never happened.
Yeah, there was talks because I've had my issues with them anyway. So me and Dan have crossed paths a few times. We've never wrestled, but we've also never had any. We want to wrestle each other. There's been talks similar to, it's egos maybe, whatever it is. But me and Dan have known each other for a long time and never crossed paths. Me and Scott also never actually. Sorry, I meant crossed paths in the ring. Same as me and Scott. So there was talk about me and Scott. And I was looking forward to that test. I was looking forward to it because, they're in good company. They wrestle who they are. But I think me and George versus them two would be incredible. Yeah. I'd like to do that. And yeah. But the other person I'd like to tag with, I've got a lot of respect for Tommy.
Yeah.
And I think, I've seen him. I like he will put everything on the line. And every single time, and how can you not salute and respect that? And I think if I was looking for someone to ride out to war with, who could I pick better than him? Yeah.
Well, we had it earlier on in the thing. People were mentioning names of people they'd like to see you wrestle, and he was one of the person that he would like to see you wrestle.
That was Come to Pro Wrestling said that. Actually, Come to Pro Wrestling said Valentino versus Tomby would be a huge match.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that links to Morris's question on there. Sorry, I'm stealing your job again, but
a little bit. You know what I mean? Why give us jobs and take them off?
Surprise. Surprise.
There you go, Steve. See, there's your king up there. Look, gives you
there he is.
Yeah, I can see.
There's a reason why. He's asked. You mentioned tagging stuff, and obviously everyone loves a good bit of tag team wrestling. But obviously, you mentioned singles gold. That's not say for the goal, but is there anyone in particular you'd love to have a singles match with at CPW who's not Will Star? Obviously, we know you want that. Apart from Will Star, is there anyone else?
It's hard to see past him, but
Fair.
we've got George, Tom B, and Nathan. Me and you've never wrestled.
I've actually never wrestled you. No, unfortunately,
Never
not
wrestled before.
No.
Never ever
Yes, we
wrestled.
have we? No, no. I can't remember if we were in a tag match.
Maybe-
Don't
We
think
might
we
have
were.
had a little tickle in a rumble. We
Yeah.
had a tickle in a rumble once upon a time. Maybe we had a few dances, but we've never actually wrestled.
No,
And
no.
I would really enjoy that, mate. I'd really
No,
enjoy that.
I
But
would enjoy it.
yeah, but there's but it's hard to see past. You got Tom B, George, and Bill. Those are my three. They're the three. When I think of CPW, they're the three that I think will bring out the best in me and vice versa. And that's where I'm at. So no disrespect to the rest of the roster. But those three are the ones that I can't see past, man. Can't see past
that
those
makes
three.
sense. That's fair. Aaron, anything else? Any more
No,
questions?
that's it. I think everyone's just enjoyed listening to you, Steve, listening to you know, from
Thank you, man.
the start to the end, your career, you know, the charity work you're doing, you know, going to Italy. I mean, I come on here and everyone's like, yeah, I know this about Steve. Oh, yes, I know that. What do you know, Aaron? I went, I know nothing. I'm looking forward to hearing his life story. You know,
I'm actually with you on that, Aaron, because I didn't know a lot about yourself, Steve. I know you met you when you first came to CPW. I didn't really know a lot about you as a performer, stuff that you do behind the scenes. So I've enjoyed this podcast as well. Thank you.
And obviously, I was different. Obviously, I knew you.
You've tanned me. You've tanned me, baby.
I've loved to. Obviously, we've had a lot of talks. We get on really well. You know, we've even been on night outs. We've been on night outs because it's. We have. We've got drunk together. Tomby's just commented saying,
remember nights out. Oh
nights out. Remember then they happened and they're a real.
I was just saying. Remember. You go out and see people. Oh, crazy times. What's Tomby said?
No, Tomby's put much respect to the captain across the ring or in the same corner. Would love to create something with him.
Oh, there you go.
Let's do it, man. Let's get it done, man. If we both want it, CPW Galaxy. If you want that, I think we should. I want to see us together. So if you guys want to see that, let us know. I mean, what's Tomby's situation with Will Starr? How do they get on?
The actual situation with Tomby is Tomby was last put into a casket and has not been seen since. So
yeah, we haven't seen Tomby since.
Do I have to where he is? Bring him back from the dead. Because I know some voodoo goddesses. So
you might better get him out that casket.
I know some voodoo.
Yeah.
All right, we've got some shit to film. We've got some films to make.
All we know is he has access to Wi-Fi and a computer because he's definitely commenting and posting.
Yeah, definitely.
Voodoo woman voodoo. We will bring Tomby back to life.
But yeah, Comedy Pro Wrestling's put money match, and a little secret for you, Steve. It has been known in the past that certain things have been said on this show, and they have happened in the future.
Yes.
The boss is always watching. The boss is always listening. So we never know what might happen. We're going to finish off with the classic question that's always asked by our main man, Wes, number one fan. He would like you to give,
shout out to Wes.
If you can, what would be your CPW Mount Rushmore?
I mean, I'm there first.
Fine.
Can I? Okay.
Isn't it?
It's the three that I've already said. I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over.
No, because we've got. You want it to be, Steve. End of the day.
Your Mount Rushmore.
Do you know what? Hold on. Right. So it's what they contribute to CPW as well, isn't it? Right. So.
In theory, yeah.
I'm putting Dom up there.
Okay.
And not just because his influence, how much has been involved, the people he's brought through. He then, for me, cascades down to a bunch of people that make CPW. Will has to be there. And Tomby, not George. Yeah, so sorry, George. So Tomby has to be there. Tomby, I mean, I think Mr. Richards, Will, Tomby, myself for what I'm going to build in the future. I'm
Nice.
calling it now. Might not have done it yet, but what I'm going to do
Nice.
CPW in the future.
Nice.
I'm putting Dom there, and not just because I like him, but because of how much he contributes and how much in terms of bringing, rightly or wrongly, and however you feel about him, what he does with his foundation. He's not his foundation. That's my foundation. With what he has done and how he influences, I'm putting Dom there. So myself for my future, I'm claiming it. I'm basically like, you've got the three. You've got Will. You've got Tom B. Don't tell Will I said this. And you got Dom, and then you've got in construction. And in construction, it's just a hook, right? But it's gonna be my face. All right.
Perfect. Now, we don't want to upset you. That's a great Mount Rushmore, but Wes likes to also have a female and a fan. So it's a 6-person Mount Rushmore.
Don't say Wes. Just don't say Wes. Because
Wes is really awkward on this.
Yeah.
Who was the girl that I made cry, Azza?
I don't even. Do you know what? I think
Right.
it was a baby.
He's the fan.
Right?
The fan is the girl that
listen,
cried.
Listen, it was a baby.
Yeah,
you
the
made
fan's
cry.
the girl that cried.
And
A baby?
it was a baby. It was only a young kid, baby, and it was James Cross's niece.
Ah,
Right, I've got it. Here's what it is. Here's what it is. All right, so on the Mount Rushmore, I'm designing the Mount Rushmore. As I've said, I've taken creative license with it already. So so the female is going to be Lauren, right? Lauren Starr, right? And then, but the fan is going to be my mum, and she's punching Lauren in the face. So that's what that's going to be. All right. Happy Wes.
I stand corrected. Actually, it wasn't. So Shannon and Richard Warwood have actually corrected me. It was Shannon's sister you made cry, and I remember the words you said was, "Why bring a child to a show?"
Right.
I stand by those words.
So that's a great Mount Rushmore, and I want to finish the night off quickly. We mentioned her earlier. You've mentioned her again. Mama Valentino is a big part of your life, but also a big part of your wrestling career. Like I say, she's always at your shows. So I want to finish off with a big to Mama Valentino who's watching. I've been at shows. All the boys and the girls love her backstage, and at your shows especially, she was always there.
Love her backstage. What the fuck are you doing?
Oh, what are you trying to
what I
say?
mean. No, you
Mum's watching, Nathan. His mum's watching.
Jesus,
Ooh.
Nathan.
Dave, man.
It's my mom, bro. Right, we have to wrestle now, son. Love her backstage.
I'm so sorry about that. It's because Nathan takes his mum out for romantic dinners. That's what it is. And he thinks every family's like that. He takes his mum out for romantic dinners. He thinks every family's like that. We're not all like that.
Okay.
Hey, dude, it's fine. Take your own mum out, mate. Leave mine away from the backstage.
Anyway,
I know what you meant, and that was the most Nathan thing you've ever done.
We want to thank everyone for
really
watching.
trying to be nice.
Steve, before we go, I want to obviously get you to plug all your social media platforms. Plug them for us, and obviously finish off talking. Let us know about the foundation once more, and also I want final words for the CPW Galaxy and everyone watching.
Awesome. So, yeah, guys, so I'm Steve Valentino on every platform. It's actually Steve Valentino, Twitter. I don't use it, but it's on Twitter. And then Instagram and Facebook's all the same. And then, but the main thing is, the most important thing is at Spirit of the Music on Facebook. So go search that. It's Spirit of the Music Foundation if you want to search it, or you can at it and it's Spirit of the Music. Go there. That's where it's all going to be happening. And then in a few weeks, in this week, we're going to be releasing a new song. We're also going to be announcing the date of the gig. That's going to be this week. We're going to be announcing it. And just more support. Again, like we said earlier, if you can't pledge any money, which we've not even opened up to yet, but if you can't yet, don't worry about it. If you want to help us, the best thing you can do is by sharing the videos, sharing the updates and liking the page, and then obviously sharing the page. And for the CPW Galaxy, honestly, guys, I came in because I wanted to destroy you, and then you guys made me fall in love with you. So I can't wait to be back with you. I really can't. I miss you are some of my favourite people to perform in front of. And I just can't wait till we're all back together again. And thank you, CPW, for having me. And I've really enjoyed having a great chat with you all. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Steve. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Thanks, Steve. Cheers, Steve.
thank you for joining us tonight here on Talking Madness. Remember, after the show finishes, we will be showing the match from CPW versus the World, Steve Valentino versus Will Star. So stay online to watch that match. The captain, he has joined us tonight. We thank you. So everyone at home and everyone right now, show your hooks, get your hooks up for the captain. We thank you for joining us. I've been your host, Nathan Lewis, joined by Dal Richardson and Azza, and our guest tonight, the captain, Steve Valentino. Stay safe and enjoy the match. And remember, like, share, Spirit of the Music Foundation.
Thank you, guys.
All will fall to me. Oh, you all will fall to me. I'm a wheeler, I'm a double dealer. Tell you that I need you, then I love you, then I leave you.
on top now. We'll start up to the second. That is a classic Will Star combination, but he doesn't stop. He's straight back up to the top, springs up like a hell. Cross body up the top. What a combination for Will. He's in control now. And that front face suplex is normally the setup for the elbow drop from Will Star.
Clear the landing zone. Dropping the elbow. He's caught.
He's got him in a triangle choke. Triangle choke.
Valentino. This is going to be it. Can Star get to the ropes? Can he get that from the ropes?
Intensity from Valentino. He's squeezing the life out of him. Star made the ropes. Star made the ropes. No, he hasn't.
It's on the ropes. You see him. The count being made. He's got a 4 count to let go. And at last, Steve Valentino lets go. And that triangle choke. And the damage has been done to Will Star.
And that was a close one. You see it in MMA, you see it in every walk of martial arts there is. That will put you out.
Break it down now. Star has nothing left. As Valentino picks him up. And what on the counter? What a counter! What a pin! Can he get him wrong?
Unbelievable resilience and unbelievable innovation from Will Star, but Valentino keeps the intensity, he stays on him.
You're like head of Valentino, there may be nothing in there, but it is certainly a hard hitter.
Oh, is he going to get him up?
Vicious powerbomb from Valentino. Good night, Nick Star. Kick out at time, somehow, someway, the resiliency. Will Star, I cannot believe this.
Will Star is showing a superhuman effort right here, because he knows that CPW has been dominant all night long, and he knows CPW looks to him for leadership. He wants to put in his ankle. Oh, and that is the pirate driver right there. And he's going for the pin. That is his finish, and that's going to be it.
What Evan starts looking like now is the lights. It was coming.
Valentino has beaten the CPW lineal heavyweight champion, and that is going to have consequences.
Absolutely incredible shine from Will Sky, but it's blood, sweat, and tears into that fight. But Valentino was strong in the closing stages and was able to pick him up and slide him to the mat one too many times. And now you have to think that the linear championship opportunity that Valentino plays is now his.
Will Star dominated early in that match with his technical wrestling. Valentino played some mind games and turned it into a brawl. But at the end of the day, Valentino won that match clean in the middle of the ring with a 3 count.
And it does me feel to set the start of this match. You're hitting the Valentino start the Gambling counter. It was a traditional wrestling match. It ended as an all-out street fight. And that is where Valentino takes effect.
Will Star looks devastated. He looks like he's got some pressure down and that's been hard. 2 shows in a row, he's had his heart ripped out by Steve Valentino.
He had no one down. He put everything into that match. He gave everything he had. And everyone in the CPW galaxy is proud of the linear champion. And they not do nothing but any other night. Surely he'll be in control of it. But Valentino stole that locker room with the top of his belt. Surely that's a #1 contender.
Crowd showing their respect for the effort though from Will Star. Everyone watching at home has got to think, what an outstanding effort, what a lot of heart. He kicked out some unbelievable moves.
I'm a bad man, I'm a bad man. 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 I'm a man with a hole where good men's conscience used to be. Walking around with a stone cold heart and a curiosity. Killing like it ain't no big thing. I don't even feel it. Wash away the blood with a drink in my hand. 'Cause I'm a man with a whole big plan for the world to fall to me. Oh, the world will fall to me. I'm a reeler, I'm a double dealer. Tell you that I need you, then I love you, then I leave you. Politician, demon on a mission, telling white lies, but you know I'm playing both sides. An abuser, beggar and accuser, selling you a win, but you'll always be the loser. Run for your life, lock your doors real tight, 'cause